you have some question later on, yeah, please leave in the chat box, yeah, so I will answer later on, yeah. Okay, so let's go for this one. All right. Last week I recap on series 1, yeah, whereby I more focusing on to find some ideas, yeah, and then to develop a research question, and then some advanced searching techniques, yeah, and then also how to do a literature review, yeah, and then some citation and references and other matters, yeah. Okay, but for series 2, yeah, I will cover on what I will cover in series 2, which is this one, yeah. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, in series 2, yeah, I will focusing on methodology. Sorry. Okay, I will focusing on methodology, and then the decision on choosing suitable methodology. And then here are the some outline suggestion. Actually, there will be some more. Yeah. Okay. And then after that, yeah, I will go for writing chapter 1, yeah, which is introduction. All right. Some of you might asking, yeah, why chapter 3 first rather than chapter 1? All right. I've been supervising FYP and UGMP for so many semesters. One of the main issues is not introduction. Yeah, introduction, some of you can do, some of you can unable to do. However, yeah, methodology is questionable because there are some major errors whereby the particular student choose the wrong methodology. And then, yeah, one of the critical mistake that they made is they didn't put this one, data analysis. They have the research design, they explain on how to do data collection, but somehow, yeah, they forget to put data analysis. If they put, they just put here as an SPSS only. All right, bear in mind, yeah, that SPSS is a software, not an analysis. Yeah, so you need to be critical in this one. Yeah, data is analyzing using SPSS. Yes, we can understand. But what kind of analysis that you run in the SPSS? That is a main question that you need to answer, yeah, in the chapter 3. Yeah, just simply say SPSS is not enough. Yeah, okay, you need to explain, yeah, what kind of analysis that you run in the SPSS. All right. So apart from chapter 3, yeah, and then chapter 1, yeah, I will guide you on how to write a background of the study and then a statement of a problem. I know some of you might thinking about research gap, but usually a research gap I combine together in a statement of a problem. I will tell you why later on. Yeah. Okay, and then these are the other outline suggestion. And then also I will provide to you the best part, which is this. Okay, you can have these references later on after finish the workshop, and then yeah, it will guide you on the selection on what kind of research philosophy you will have, research approach, research strategy, research study, design, how to collect the data, and then how to analyze the data. So if you follow the correct route, yeah, your methodology, I can say that you can score like 70 to 80%, I can say. It depends on the explanation that you made. Yeah, I provide for you this one, yeah, to avoid a major error, yeah, for some of the students, yeah, later on, yeah, while we are doing this one. Okay, let's have a look at the main slide here. Okay, but let me check whether it is under record or not. Okay, yes, it is recording. Okay. What's next? What's next after done the literature review? Okay, so the continuation from series 1, whereby I will explain the honeycomb of research methodology by Williams, 2014. And then those 6 honeycombs, research philosophy, research approach, research strategy, research design, data collection, and data analysis. And then this one, the critical one, how to choose the right or suitable methodology. Yeah. And then drafting chapter 3, methodology of the study, the suggested outline, what you should put in the chapter 3. Okay, and then after that we'll have a short break. Okay, and then going for overview of chapter 1, and then how to write on chapter 1, writing strategies, background of the study, problem statement, and etc. And then I will spend a little bit of time to do hands-on on citation and referencing, okay, manually, and then common mistake in FYP or UGMP, and then the last one, tips on working together with supervisor. Okay, so these are the general process I'm talking about. So for the workshop series 2, I will cover on writing chapter 3, decision, outline, and then writing chapter 1, this area only. Above area, I already covered in the last workshop. Okay, but for writing findings and chapter 5, this one is for completed student. Let me see if I able to plan on having that workshop series 3 later on. I'm not in the plan on to that extent yet. Okay, methodology of the research. Okay, let's have a look at this analogy. Because some of you might not understand what methodology is all about. Have a look at these 4 pictures. Okay, so this is football. Okay, this is the football. This is futsal. Okay, this is beach soccer. This is a swan football. Okay, one common theme that they have in this picture is football. But there is two question that you need to answer in your mind that relates to analogy. Okay, the first one, what are the main differences in those 4 sports? Okay, what are the difference between football, futsal, beach soccer, and swan football? Okay, so if you see this kind of 4 pictures, you might find out that the main differences are methodology, whereby the football, futsal, beach soccer, and swan football have a different methodology, different rules, different procedures. So you cannot make what we call as a similar procedures within those 4 sports. So the main differences we can say here is a methodology, the rules, and the procedures, how they play, and then what will be the rules, regulation, tactics, and so on. So that is one main differences. And another one, what is the common objective of those 4 sports? Okay, I can say here that 4 sports here have one common goal, which is to win a game. That is one objective that they there is a common aim that they want to achieve, whereby the main goal here is to win. So therefore how to win is a matter of tactics, strategy, methods, and so on. Okay, there is a lot of ways to do that. So I'm coming up with this analogy because you need to understand the protocol. The methodology is about the protocol of conducting the study, doing the research. Doing a research is not simply like, oh, you got the data and then that's it. There must be some protocol and procedures that you need to follow. Okay, and I'm here to make things easy, whereby I will show you on how to make the procedures easier. Okay, so here are the 6 honeycombs of research methodology by Wilson 2014, whereby the first one I will start with research philosophy. What type of philosophy are you in terms of your research? And then research approach, how do you want to approach the research? And then going back to research philosophy, either epistemology, ontology, and axiology that I will explain later on. And then research approach, we have 2 options. Either are you going for inductive or are you going for deductive. And then after that, you will go for research strategy, the third methodology. Either are you going for quantitative, are you going for qualitative, or are you going for mixed method? That means combination of quantitative and qualitative. After you determine your research strategy, next will be research design. Okay, what will be your plan? Are you going to do action research, case study, either experimental, longitudinal, cross-sectional, archival analysis, or comparative? And once you determine research design, you need to explain how do you collect the data. Either are you going to conduct interviews, are you going to conduct questionnaire, observation, or secondary data. And the last one, yeah, which most of you are miss this part, which is data analysis technique. So these are the type of analysis that you will conduct, but not all. It depends on the selection and it depends on the research objective or research question. So this 6 will be covered, or I can say that this 6 area is a compulsory, yeah, that you should put into chapter 3, yeah, which is the methodology of the research, yeah. Okay, let's have meanwhile while I'm explaining, yeah, I will go for this one, yeah. That means so you can see the flow of it. Okay. All right, let's have a look at the first one, which is research philosophy, yeah. Okay, I will cover this one first, which is research philosophy. Okay, what is research philosophy? Is about a belief, yeah, a belief about the way in which data about a phenomenon should be gathered, analyzed, and used. And then also, yeah, deals with the source, nature, and development of the knowledge. Okay, if you study or do some research or that kind particular of topic, yeah, that means what will be the philosophy of the knowledge? What will be the nature of knowledge? Yeah. Okay, so this is a general definition. Okay, later on when I show the example, yeah, you might understand later on. So that means, yeah, what knowledge is associated about the belief, yeah. What do you think that there is a belief behind those research? So there are 3 decisions need to be made regarding research philosophy, which are epistemology, choices between positivism, interpretism, or pragmatism, which is this one, epistemology. Okay, and then the second one will be ontology, choices between objectivism or subjectivism, which is this one, ontology. And then the third one, you need to choose on axiology part, whether you need to choose between value free or bias in this part. So in this stage 1 research philosophy, yeah, there are 3 phases that you need to go for, yeah. Okay, let's have a look at epistemology first. Okay, what is the nature, sources of knowledge or facts? Yeah? So, for epistemology, which is the first part of research philosophy, is a branch of philosophy that studies knowledge or knowing. So, how do you want to relate your research or your knowledge to the philosophy? Yeah, that means we call it the principles, yeah, that apply into the research. How do we want to know what we claim to know? So that means, yeah, from the knowledge, we explain about how the knowledge can increase our research skill. And then another part is how do you know something, yeah. So that means from the philosophy that you have, you will apply about how, yeah. It's a matter of how do you get the knowledge, yeah, from the research that you are working for. Okay, so here are the assumption, yeah, which is the knowledge is out there waiting to be discovered, yeah. Because, yeah, when you do a research, you will find something. When you find something, you will discover something, yeah. So let's say an business example, yeah. You want to know about the factors that influence purchase intention. So when you do a research, yeah, automatically the knowledge will be coming to you from reading the literatures, conduct the analysis, and so on. So after that, yeah, you will discover that, oh, okay, the main factor that influence purchase decision is the brand, for example. So you will that one, yeah, you will discover something, yeah, that you seen, yeah, based on your research, yeah. That is the first assumption. Okay, the second one, develop the knowledge. Develop the knowledge means that, yeah, from the findings, you will present the findings. And then after that, you will relate to the presentation of knowledge. What do you want to tell to the readers about that? Yeah, like example earlier. Okay, I want, from my research, I want to tell the readers, okay, from my research, yeah, I want to inform you that one of the main factors that influence purchase intention of smartphone is by brand. So people who are reading this one, oh, okay, brand is one of the factors. Okay, so probably I will go outside and I want to choose based on brand. Probably I want to buy Samsung or probably iPhone because they are established brand. Because How they know? Because the knowledge that has been discovered by the researchers, which is you. Yeah, based on our perception and experiences. Yeah, again, yeah, we're talking about purchasing intention based on your perception and also the experience of bought it before. Okay, the third one, the epistemological assumption, all knowledge is relative, a mere social construction. It's whatever we say it is. Yeah. Okay, so the knowledge is related to whatever topic that you come up. So for the example, it is the truth, which is the real case. Belief is what do you believe about the situation happen out there, and then justification means that why is that occur? Yeah. So you're talking about epistemology, there are three types of epistemology, which are positivism, interpretism, and pragmatism, which we'll cover here. Positivism, pragmatism, and interpretism for the first stage. Yeah. Okay. So what is the difference between positivism, interpretism, and pragmatism? Okay. So these are the other name of positivism, which is this one empiricism, reductionism, hypothetical-deductive. For interpretism, the other name is constructivism, anti-positivism, and others. And pragmatism is, there is no other name for pragmatism. Okay, let's have a look at positivism, which is the first part here. I delete one by one so I can extend. Okay, let's have a look at the positivism part. Alright, positivist people believe that the external world is ordered and regular. What do you mean by external world? That means outside your life. Yeah, whatever happens outside is ordered. That means it's already planned. It's already planned. It's already destined by God sometimes. Yeah, and it also regular. Regular means sometimes it happen every time. Yeah, and there is an objective reality or truth with specific pattern which can be predicted or explained to theories or law. So that means what happened outside here is determined or destined by God. Yeah, and then we can say that there is a real story about that. Okay, for example, again, purchase intention. So many people outside there purchasing smartphone, yeah, which is already God already destined that a millions of people will buy smartphones. And then it's a regular thing. You can see every day, most of the people come to a smartphone shop, yeah, and then choose the best brand. And then sometimes we can predict what will happen in the future regarding to the purchasing smartphone. Yeah, now it's S21. We never know there will be S22 or S23. Yeah, or sometimes people it can have some prediction whereby there will be no purchasing on Samsung anymore. They will switch to another brand. Yeah, and then the purchasing intention can be explained to theories of or laws. For example, purchasing smartphone probably because of price. Yeah, okay, the cheaper the price is, the buying purchasing will be higher. Yeah, sometimes the theory can say that. It depends on the literature. So positivist here is whatever happens outside, you just accept it. Yeah, you just accept it, and then you just believe that there will be happen. Okay, how about interpretism? Okay, this one, interpretism is here. Okay, interpretivism here is maintain that there are many subjective realities that can be constructed by individual interpretation. Okay, individual interpretation means that you making assumption. For example, okay, recently you saw an accident, accident at the road. Okay, and then you come up with the assumption that there might be a runaway from behind, a motorcyclist getting rammed from behind. It might be the motorcyclist fall down and goes sideways, for example. There might be assumption that the motorcyclist just cutting corners and then suddenly they bump with another car. So one event that can lead towards the assumption. Yeah. Another example that I can come up, which is fire. Fire cases. Yeah. Okay. So let's say a house get burned. Yeah. So you can come up with the assumption that the house get burned because of electricity issues. Probably because of gas leaking. Oh, it is probably because of that household playing a fire. So you come up with the assumption, which is sometimes not be true. Yeah, so that's why interpretism means that you interpret the assumption based on the event that happens. It is different from positivism, whereby whatever happens you just accept and then you just make a specific pattern, predict what will happen, and then explain through theory and laws. But for pragmatism, is it in between? Yeah, that means a mix between positivism and interpretism. Okay, some of the events that you just accept the fact that there is destined, and then at the same time you make an assumption, which is providing pragmatic solutions or outcomes. Okay, so to pragmatists, truth is what is really useful about being influenced by the researchers. Yes, some researchers might say that, but sometimes you can believe or you cannot believe. Okay, let's say example of positivism. Okay, pragmatism I covered. Okay, positivism, for example, impact of global economic crisis. Okay, this is we're talking about there is a destined that global economic crisis will happen. It's a question of what will happen in the future. Okay, positivist example is relationship between diffusion of innovation and mobile application. We can say that the more innovative the smartphone is, the application is, they will influence people to buy. And then the last one, effect on FDI. So these three events or these three studies, which is a real studies, yeah, I mean it is based on facts. It is based on current scenario and so on. About interpretism, for example, opinion on how is the experience using Food Panda. Okay, so we're talking about opinion is a subjective opinion. Okay, some of you might saying that, oh, it is a very good application. Or some of you might saying that, oh, this is a bad application because probably they will be expensive in terms of charges and so on. And then somehow the turnaround time, the delivery is quite late. So you making an assumption on that experience, yeah, okay, based on the people experience and observation on people shopping behavior at supermarket. So let's say you are standing alone at the supermarket, you can see different people have different shopping habit. So you make an assumption, oh, older people goes to the fresh food first. Oh, young people go for the cleaning department first. So different people or different group of people goes for different starting point first. Yeah. And for pragmatism, for example, measuring work performance and comment on work performance. So those are the two things. Yeah, whether they are being pragmatic on work performance, either that the particular employee is doing good or bad, and then after that, any comments or any feedback, that they will give the suggestion later on. So that is a mix between the real one, and then there will be the comment that will be improved in the future. Yeah, so that is a difference between epistemologies. Yeah, so these three I already covered. Okay, now on to the ontology. What is reality? Okay, so we're talking about a branch of philosophies that students the nature of human beings existent as individual in society and in the universe. Okay, which is who we are and what we are here for. Okay, so what is the reality happen there, and then what is the reality about the knowledge, the research that you will be conducting. So there are two options on ontology, which is objectivism and subjectivism. Okay, let's have a look at objectivism first, which is this one, objectivism. Okay, as far as objectivism is concerned, the stance or the reality that implies that social phenomena based on external realities that are beyond our reach or control. That means what happened outside there, we cannot control it. Yeah, for example, you want to conduct research about smoking habit. You cannot control people's smoking habit. Yeah, smoking habit can be controlled by the respondent itself. Yeah, okay, whether are they going to stop smoking or continue smoking. So you as a researcher, you cannot force them to stop smoking. Yeah, which is actually external realities. Another example is UGMP FYP students, you cannot control the situation of economic performance because it is moved by itself, okay, which is beyond our reach or control. So what happened is there is destined by a god. Yeah. So for example of objectivism is whatever that you it happens, you just accept it. Making business decision and develop tactics and strategies based on observed data, research, factual assimilation, and analysis. Okay, so what happened out there will generate the data, the information that you have. For example, smoking habit, you can have the data on how many smokers, yeah, and then what will be the age of smokers and so on. The research has been done before. Factual assimilation, which is the facts that come out by the statisticians, yeah, or the observers, the scholars, yeah, and then the analysis, yeah. Okay, so this one is more on solid facts, yeah, solid facts and then solid statements, yeah. So that is an objectivism. However, there is an opposite way of subjectivism. Okay, so those subjectivism people on ontologies here, the researcher examines the motivation and social interaction of respondents. So, if you're saying that the motivation and social interaction can be measurable, it is not. Yeah, because the motivation and social interaction are subjective. Yeah, some of them have a good motivation, some of them have a bad motivation, some of them have a good social interaction, some of them have a bad social interaction. So you as a researcher, you need to understand the belief, yeah, and attitude motivating respondent to act in the particular way. Okay, for example, same thing, making business decision and develop tactical strategies, but it is based on unsubstantial criteria such as hunches, gut feeling, rumors, ill-defined emotion, and etc. In other words, those subjectivism people like to assume, yeah, like to perceive, yeah, like to make a conclusion based on we're talking about inner insight, yeah, gut feelings, yeah. So you're talking about non-facts and non-facts, which is based on the assumption, or the perceptions, yeah, which is based on your heart, sometimes based on your mind, yeah, gut feelings, hunches, and so on. So that's why it is more on subjective. Okay, so why we come up with the two option of objectivism and subjectivism? Because for this pragmatism people, it can be mixed between objectivism and or subjectivism. That means it is a mix, yeah, for pragmatic people, yeah. So that is an ontology. Okay, the last one is axiology. Okay, I should zoom a little bit. Okay. Okay, I should zoom a little bit. For axiology, okay, for axiology is a concern with the nature of value. Okay, value, that means what is the value in terms of response, okay, and then in terms of feedbacks, okay, and then sometimes the value which is the data, So axiology is concerned, with the role that your own perception plays in the research, So for those who are at axiology, that means epistemology people, for those positivist people, they are more on value free. Okay, value free because they are independent from their research. Value free means that, the value, whatever the data that you have, the response that you have, the feedback that you have, you just appreciate it and then you just process it. That's it. Without being a pragmatic, without being a prejudice. What that means, because sometimes when you are doing FYP or UGMP, we some of supervisor feel that, oh, the result must be nice, the result must be expected that all playing is a significant relationship. Actually, it's not. Okay, if you found out in the findings chapter 4 that all result is not significant, that is fine actually. Okay, because the if you adjust the result, if you adjust the data, it will create a bias, which is this one. Interpretivist because they are interdependent as they consider their own values. So this one is biased, yeah, because sometimes, yeah, people feedback, yeah, the data that you have, the response that you have, sometimes you are appreciate, sometimes you are not appreciate, yeah, for especially with the bad response or bad feedback. So bias happens, yeah, whereby those interpretivists, yeah, is like to appreciate the good things only without appreciate the bad things. So bias means that is a one-sided. So for those who are value free, yeah, which is non-biased, okay, which is more on positivism and objectivism, and then for bias is this one. But for pragmatism, it is a mix between value free or bias. Okay, so as a conclusion here, in research philosophy, we have three decisions that you need to make. Either are you more on epistemology, which epistemology are you in, which ontology are you in, and which axiology are you in. Yeah. Okay. So that is how research philosophy stands for. Okay. So you need to write down later on in the thesis. Yeah. Okay, but before that, I also share with you the this one, yeah, in the Google Drive later on after the workshop. This one, yeah, research philosophy in pharmacy. Okay, so you can have this, yeah, later on, yeah. If you want to write a methodology, yeah, you can go for this one, yeah. Research philosophy is about this thing, yeah. And then you can, it's not copy and paste, but it's just you read and then you will understand how to write the research philosophy of epistemology, axiology, and so on. Okay, but if you feel that that is not enough, yeah, you can go for this data. Sorry, not data, Google Scholar. Okay, you can find in the title that I already showed in the chat workshop, first workshop, all in title research philosophy, and then business, because we are more on business side. Okay, if not in business, you just go for research philosophy. That's it. Okay, so I forgot one more thing, ext PDF. Okay, so yeah, you can have this document. Yeah, you can refer on ontology, epistemology, and axiology. Yeah, and then this one, research philosophy. You can search for any kind of research philosophy journals, yeah, or books, yeah, that you want to have, yeah, explaining on those three philosophies, yeah. Okay, so that is how you done. If you feel that this journal is not enough for you, okay, probably you want to add citations and so on. This one is from We Need with Jana 2016. Yeah, I will share with you later on after the workshop. Okay, so let's move on to the second part. Okay, after the axiology. Okay, all right, done with the research philosophy. Okay, the second one is research approach. How do you want to approach your FYP or UGMP? Okay, so there are two approaches, yeah, in this research approach, which is inductive and deductive. Okay, so there are difference between inductive and deductive. Okay, let's have a look at the easiest one, deductive first. Okay, because I believe most of you will go for deductive. Okay, let me tell you why. Deductive means that, yeah, it begins with the theory in the literature review, and then, yeah, you will come up with the data collection and so on, and you will represent your findings in chapter 4. These are the process, yeah. So deductive approach means that theory first, result later. Yeah, I repeat again. For deductive approach, yeah, whereby theories come first, which is on literature review, and then the result will be later. Okay, it differs or opposite with inductive approach, whereby they come out with the result first, findings first, and then theory will be generated later on. Okay, so for inductive approach is other way around, whereby you collect the data first and then theory will be later. Okay, so inductive, which is more on theory building process. Okay, but I believe most of you will go for this one, deductive, because it's a standard that you're doing literature review first, and then you will come up with the observation and finding. For this inductive is quite technical because actually it's not easy to build the theory, yeah, unless that you are doing a conceptual framework, yeah. So this is from Height to 2000, yeah, page 83 in the textbook, yeah. Okay, so this only two options, yeah, which is deductive and inductive.
Sorry,
Okay,
sir.
yes,
I
yes,
have
sure.
a question.
Okay.
For example, in the one paragraph where we do the research approach, so the first stanza we must have theoretical observation finding and inductive. It combined too, sir.
Okay, it's like this. Okay, it's like this, Wari, yeah. Okay, so they have one choices. If you there is a choices, either are you going for deductive, are you going for inductive, or are you going for both? Later on, Shwari, I will explain to you on the decision. There is a later part in part 4, I think. On how to, I mean, tips on how to choose those research methodology later on. Let me cover everything first, Shwari, and then I will explain to you on tips on how to choose this one. This one I will provide to you later on.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we cover this one, research approach. Let's have a look at the third one, which is research strategy. Okay, so in this one, okay, but before that, you can read later on deductive and inductive approach, whereby the key highlight here is for deduction, okay, which is deductive, theory to data. Yeah, that means from having literature review and then you come up with the data collection, which is more on quantitative. But this one, data to theory. Okay, which is opposite around, which is quite technical to do. Yeah, and then this one is more on qualitative. Yeah, it's more on qualitative. Okay, let's have a look at research strategy. Okay, that's why I just to advance a little bit. You have an option, either are you going for qualitative or quantitative. I know some of you might feel confusing about qualitative and quantitative. Probably you can use your language quali and quanti. Okay, so probably it might make you easier. Are you go for quali or are you for go for quanti? Or are you going for mixed method? Okay, let me cover first about quantitative. Okay, for quantitative, which is this one. This one, quantitative. Examine numerical data. That means it's more on statistic. Yeah. Right. That means you are dealing with the numbers. Okay. But for qualitative, you examine narrative data. Narrative data means that not only data has a non-numbers, but narrative data means that sometimes the data is in terms of visual, story, text, whereby those kind of sources, is more on narrative. That means is more on storytelling. Yeah, so that is a qualitative, which is non-numbers. Okay, later on, we will have some research design on qualitative later on. And then mixed method, combination between quali and quantitative. Okay, but I know probably some of you have a desire to do mixed method, but for me, mixed method, the strategy or the way of how to conduct is quite long. It's like a double work. Yeah. You need to do quantitative, you need to do qualitative. It's a double work. So I'm not saying that you are not allowed to do. You can do, but the work load of mixed method is quite high compared to quantitative and qualitative. Yeah. So already done with the mixed method. Okay, let's have a look at stage 4, which is research study. Sorry, research design. Okay, in this one, I have two parts, which is research study and research design. So what is a research design? is a detailed framework or plan. So how do you plan on your research? What is your plan? What you gonna to do? Yeah, let's say if you are play football, what will be your plan? Are you plan to play as a defender? Are you plan to play as a midfielder? Are you plan to play as a goalkeeper or striker? So that is an analogy of research design. Okay, same goes to the research, yeah, whereby what is your planning? Yeah, what will you do? Yeah, in order to conduct your research. Yeah, that helps to guide you to the research process, allowing a greater likelihood in achieving your research objective. So when you have plan, yeah, you will come up with the procedure, yeah, procedure, step, or process. Remember, yeah, protocol is important, yeah, because without protocol, your the way of searching is quite a mess. Yeah. So if you follow the procedure, step, or process, yeah, that means your work is smooth flow and so on. Yeah. Okay, why understanding research philosophy is so helpful? Actually, it's a research design. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Later on, I will repeat in the slide. Why understanding research design is so helpful? The first one, to clarify how you do it. Okay, how you do it. In what way you are doing it. And then it also help researcher to recognize which design works best. Okay, I'm going back to the analogy. Yeah, if you playing football, you feel that you are best in being a goalkeeper? Are you is the best thing that you having being a defender, or being a midfielder, or being a striker? Okay, let's see myself, because I play football. Previously I played so many positions, even goalkeeper. Yeah, goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and striker. And then I test and I found out that my design best about my football philosophy is more on midfield. Yeah, so because I like to pass, I like to distribute the ball, and then I like to have a possessions and so on. So we're talking about the plan. Yeah, that means the procedure. So there is a procedure for each position. Even you play a netball, yeah, girls who are play netball, there is a different plan, whether are you being a goalkeeper, or GS, or center, or GD, and so on. So different position or have a different plan. Different plan have a different procedure, different step, and different process. Yeah. So it depends. Yeah. It depends on what is the best, yeah, plan to have. Yeah. And the last one, help the researcher identify and adapt research design according to the constraints of different subject and knowledge structure. Different research topic have a different research design. Yeah. And sometimes, yeah, even the study is very mature, which is like 50 years ago studies, for example, purchase intention, which is like 30 or 40 years ago. It's already in nature of doing the design that they have. Yeah, that means, for example, the one of the design is they say more on fossil, for example. Yeah. Okay. That is a little bit about research design. That means your plan. Yeah, that means the step or process. Yeah. Okay, how to choose, yeah, the best or suitable research design. Okay, I'm advising you because most of students, they come out to supervisor that what is the best design. Sometimes supervisor just tell, oh, questionnaire, 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 questionnaire. Sometimes, yeah. So actually it depends on your research question. Okay, which is using PICO method that already covered on workshop 1. Okay, so PICO method. So you need to match research question with the protocols that you want to conduct, and then match your research philosophy. This one I will cover in the later part. Yeah, I mean how to choose the best, yeah, methodology, and match with the sources and type of information, either primary or secondary data. And then also you need to match between conceptual or theoretical framework. So this will help you to choose the best design that you will be available for you. Okay, but before that, let's go for types of research study, which is here, this one. Yeah. Okay, we have exploratory research, descriptive research, and causal research. Different research study have a different perspective. Okay, let's have a look at this one, exploratory research. Okay, for exploratory research, the word exploratory, it says everything. which is you explore, okay, and then better insight. Okay, so that means you will do an exploration. Yeah, I give you a simple example. You want to explore the way from your house to your friend's house. Okay, there are many ways. Let's say you are staying in Cyberjaya, you want to go to your friend's house at KL. Okay, there are so many routes that you can explore. You can go through Putrajaya, you can go through Petaling Jaya, you can go through Shah Alam, you can go through Bangi. So you explore some of the roads, yeah, that the routes, yeah, that available for you in order for you to reach KL. That is an analogy of exploratory. That means you explore, yeah. That means you try to observe, yeah, leading to a development of hypothesis and theory. So when you conduct the research, yeah, you explore some of the topics, and because you want to get some idea. Explore is the purpose here is to get some ideas. Yeah. Okay, from the ideas you can develop the hypothesis, and sometimes you can develop a theory. Okay, for example, focus group. Focus group, let's say there is a small meeting of 7 people. So you discuss with each other, yeah, and then you ask, and then you discuss with each other just to get some idea, and then you explore, yeah, each one of them. In-depth interview, you conduct an interview with, let's say, famous people, or what we call VIP peoples, or targeted respondent, because you want to explore what was happening. Historical analysis, yeah, you read the history because you want to explore what's happening there. And then observation. Observation also explore because you want to discover. Yeah, I forget one of the word, discover. You want to discover what was happening in the shopping complex or the shopping mall. There is a difference, yeah, during post-COVID and pre-COVID, yeah, pre-COVID-19, yeah. During COVID-19, you can say so many people, what we call as a grab, yeah, the products, yeah, grab the goods and grab the products and then just buy. But before that, yeah, they have a plan, and then they will buy. Okay, because of probably in the emergency situation they have no choice, yeah, and then the lockdown, feel their stress, and then they want to do something new. So that is more on exploratory research because you explore. Yeah. Okay, this that is an exploratory. Okay, this one. Next is descriptive. Okay, as far as descriptive is concerned, the word descriptive says everything which is describe, yeah, existing or past phenomena. Describe a subject using observation also. Okay, so that means, yeah, you describe, that means sometimes you want to tell story a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so for example, yeah, favorite movie or drama trend by teenagers. Okay, so you describe to people that, oh, okay, nowadays teenagers like to watch Korean movie. Okay, sometimes teenagers like to watch Japanese anime, for example. So you describe what was happening out there. Yeah, what are the phenomena? Okay, for those who don't know what phenomena is a real scene. Yeah, that means the real things that happen outside here. COVID-19 is one of the phenomena, current phenomena nowadays. Yeah. Okay, that is a descriptive research, descriptive study. And the last one is a causal research. Causal research, the word causal says everything. Concern of learning why and study of cause and effect. Yeah, which is more on factors, influence, determinants, and so on. Okay, so causal research, we want to see, to find a cause. What are the factors that influence smoking habit? Why people like to smoke? So we want to find a cause. And what will be an effect if people keep smoking and smoking and smoking? Yeah, so that is more on causal research, which is this one. Okay, so once you determine your research study, let's go for the next part, which is research design. Okay, so there are 2 classifications of research design. One is an action based. That means, yeah, the involvement of people, yeah, you yourself, you involve. Yeah, you involve in this one. Yeah, but for time horizon based is more on timeline, study time study, timeline study. Okay, so that is a simple word to describe action-based and time horizon-based. Action-based means that you yourself have an involvement in collecting the data and then involved in research itself. For time horizon-based is more on study on timeline, based on timeline. Okay, so as you can see here, yeah, I doing match this just to match the research question. For example, if you do Excel research, probably the best research question is based on how and why. Let's say, sorry, this one on how. But if you study do on case study, probably the best research question might be how and or why. Yeah. But if you do experimental, the suitable research question might be how and why as well. But this one is a different thing. Longitudinal, yeah, you can refer to the green arrow, yeah, either who, what, where, how many, and how much. It's not all. It depends on you. Yeah, I'm not advise you to take all, just a select only. Yeah, but for cross-sectional design also, you have who, what, where, how many, and how much. For archival analysis, is more on who, what, where, how many, and how much. And for comparative design, what, why, and how. So there is a suggested research question that you can match with the research design. Either are you going for action-based or are you going for time horizon-based? But let's move on to this one, action-based first. Okay, action-based. Okay, in action-based, we have action research, case study, and experimental, which is this one. Okay, this one, this first three is more on action-based research design. Okay, so what does action-based research design stands for? Okay, they have three classification, either action research, case study, and experimental. Okay, action research may be defined as an emergent inquiry process. Okay, the word emergent inquiry process means that you ask or you inquiry. Okay, you inquiry about on respondents and so on, because you want to know something. If you want to know something about the smoking habit, go and ask yourself, the smoker. Yeah, why you have to ask other people to ask on your behalf? Action research means that you are in action. You are in action. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, imagine inquiry process means that you yourself inquiry. Yeah, when you have a bad customer service experience, you yourself will ask customer service people. Yeah, why you have failed in customer service, for example. So if you want to know something, you will inquiry them. Yeah, it's an action research to get some knowledge and apply real issues, real organizational issues. If you want to study on employees resignation or employees retention, go and ask the employee itself. Yeah, you will inquiry those employees. Yeah, so that is an action reserve, which is you take a full control on this one. Yeah. Okay, action research is done. Let's have a look at case study. Okay, I'm sure you are familiar with the case study. A case study is a detailed study of a specific subject, such as a case study on the people, group, place, event, organization, or phenomenon. So case study is a story that happened before. You need to study the case and then you need to analyze the case. This is by Rashid 2019. And the last one is experimental. Experimental is a study which an intervention is deliberately introduced to observe its effect. Okay, so the word experimental means that you are more on testing. For example, you are doing an experimental of taste. Okay, the taste, let's say the taste of sausages. Yeah, there are different brand of sausages, and then you just do experimenting by testing these different sausage, and you will choose the best one. Or another example, you want to test the driving test. Okay, there is a you want to experiment on driving experience. Yeah, ada driving Toyota, driving Proton, driving Produa. So you want to feel some experiences, and you will see the results, yeah, that came from experimentation. You will describe, and then you feel that which one is have a best experience. Yeah, either BMW or driving Toyota, either driving Proton, and so on. Okay, another experiment, especially for science, probably they want to experiment on vaccination. Okay, so some people red lab whereby they will be tested, the vaccination will be injected into their body, and then to see whether are they effective or not. Yeah, so this experimental is more on sometimes you yourself turn out, and then you will do some testing, which is experimental. Okay, experimental is done. So action based research design have a three, which is action research, case study, and experimental. Okay, next, time horizon based action research, which is four. There are four types of this one. Okay, either longitudinal, cross-sectional, archival analysis, and comparative design. So, what are the differences between those four? Yeah, what are the differences between those four? Longitudinal design is a study over a long period of time of a particular case of a group of cases. Okay, I give an example. You want to study the financial performance from year 2000 until 2020. So that is a longitudinal design whereby the timeline is by 20 years. Yeah, that is based on time. Yeah, okay, longitudinal. That's why this is based on the period. Yeah, probably another example, longitudinal study, which is 3 months, 6 months, let's say 24 months, and so on. So longitudinal design is based on time. Okay, this longitudinal design usually suitable for finance and accounting students, because of their measuring by time, especially when they are doing secondary data. Okay, for cross-sectional design, involve the collection of data from a number of cases. Okay, this is more on cross-sectional, whereby, let's say, example, you want to conduct a study to compare Malaysia case with Indonesia cases. Okay, and then probably you can have more than 2 cases, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. So if you do this one, cross-sectional, let's say you are doing FDI on Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. So that means you compare Malaysia and Indonesia, you compare Malaysia and Thailand, Malaysia with Thailand, or Indonesia and Thailand. So you do a cross-section. That means you do. Another example is you can compare with Bank A, Bank B, or Bank C, or Bank D. So you do a cross-section, that means you compare with each other. So you collect a number of cases. That is a cross-sectional, which is different from comparative design. Later on, I will tell you why. Okay, archival analysis is a study on public records. Okay, sorry, but before that, okay, longitudinal done, cross-sectional done. Okay, archival analysis, which is study on public records or document or history. For example, you want to analyze on entry mode. Let's say entry mode during Ottoman Empire. For those who are study on history, probably you know about Ottoman Empire 1888 until 1931 or something like that. So you study on the history, based on the history, which is long time ago, which is archival analysis. And sometimes you can go for public record or document, which is government records, which is more on historical thing, more on historical, or archive. We're talking about archive. Okay, and the last one, which is comparative design, compare two or more groups on one variable. Let's say if you want to go for smoking, okay, whereby you go for groups, whereby for young people and also older people. So because you want to test, to explore the smoking habit between young and old, which is two different group. Okay, another example probably, which is ODL, online distance learning, for we're talking about the primary school, and then for tertiary education. For primary school, I mean, like from standard 1 until standard 6, you want to compare with learning online with university or college student. So that is a more on comparative comparative design. Okay, so that is about the time horizon. Yeah, time horizon action research. Okay, so done with this one. Okay, let's move on to, okay, sorry. But before that, some common question that being asked, can I take more than one research design? Okay, which is, are you going for the selection of Excel research plus longitudinal, or probably case study and or archival analysis? Okay, which is you want to choose more than one? The answer is yes. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, the answer is yes. It depends on your research question in chapter 1. Because different research question might have different protocols or method. You always need to match with your research question. Okay, because you come up with probably a question on how and why. You cannot treat as the same methodology. Okay, you want to find how and why is a different protocols. Yeah, how probably on exploratory. Yeah, why is more on causal. So you cannot make choose on one methodology because of you have two different question. So you need to cross check back. Yeah, you need to cross check back. But yeah, if you want to play safe, yeah, just choose one research design. That's it. Yeah, because if you want to play safe. But please be careful with your research question. Because research question I already covered in the chapter 1. Sorry, workshop 1. Alright, move on to the next part, which is stage 5, data collection. Okay, we almost there. Okay, data collection, which is you collect data by yourself. Yeah, you are not asking people to take the data for you. Yeah, using range of collection tools rather than simply relying on existing data sources. Yeah, either interviews, observation, and questionnaire. Alright, but somehow, I found it funny that either FYP or UGMP student which are doing questionnaire. Yeah, sometimes I feel it weird whereby do you really distribute questionnaire to correct people, or probably sometimes you ask your friend to answer for you, so which is created not a value free but will be on bias. So the answer will be biased because the answer is not the questionnaire is not answered by particular employee, but your friend will answer about that. So it is not ethical thing to do. Okay, so yeah, you need to be honest of what you are doing. So for primary data, which is you collect data yourself, okay, by either doing interviews, observation, and questionnaire. Or either one. But for secondary data, it's data by be collected from other researchers. From other researchers, which is like journals, financial statements, which is already created by other people or other researchers. You just take it and then you will use it and process it. Okay, secondary data is like a second-hand data, which is already processed. Okay, let's have a look at primary data collection. Okay, I differentiate this one. Primary data, we have 3: interview, questionnaire, and observation. And the next one is a secondary data. So let me cover all those 3 first. Okay, for interview first. Okay, some of you might confuse about treat it similar interview and questionnaire. It's not. Interview is different, questionnaire is different. Okay, so let's have a look at the interview. Okay, what is the interview? Allow the researcher to gain insight a person belief and attitude towards a particular subject. So you interview those people to get an opinion, to get and deep insight on what was happening. Okay, example. If you seeing the news every day, there was a reporter who interview some kind of people. So of course, the answer that will be given is not by numbers. I give an example. Okay, sir, can you tell us about what was happening regarding the accident? Who started it? Who is not? So that is an interview. That means more on subjective. Okay, and then another question, sir, I want to interview you. How do you feel about current situation whereby people is not following SOP. So that means they are asked about feelings, belief, and attitude. So interviews is more on asking about subjective questions. Yeah. Okay, which is often associated with qualitative. Yeah. Interview is usually done one-to-one or probably more than one person, yeah, which is on interview. Okay, interview is done. And this one is a common use called questionnaire. Okay, please bear in mind that questionnaire is more on survey. Okay, interview is not a survey. Yeah, please bear in mind. Interview is one-to-one questions. Yeah. Okay, survey is a comprises a set of questions designed to generate data suitable for achieving the objective. Yeah, sometimes the survey question because you want to ask about strongly agree, strongly disagree, because you want to survey and so on. And then you want to survey about the profiling, yeah, demographic and so on. So this is a common practice by doing the questionnaire because the answers from the respondent will generate the data. There can be qualitative and or qualitative method. Yeah. Okay, but for observation, yeah, which is by using your eye, and then also using your ears, observation, recording the behavior of your research subject often associated with qualitative. Yeah. Okay, so you observe the behavior of people in the shopping complex, observe the people watching football. Yeah, hear of what people said. So you're more on observe. Yeah, observe means that you take attention on something. So questionnaire done, observation is done. Okay, next have a look at secondary data. Secondary data, remember, is a second hand. Remember, it's not you to collect the data. You collect data from someone else. Yeah. Okay, it can be either in electronic format, it can be in the written format. Yeah. Electronic format, we have government website. You can take information. Google also secondary data. Please bear in mind, Google also can consider secondary data. Yeah, multilateral organization, company website, journals for academic one, books, textbook, conference paper, for written format, which is printed. Okay, printed, commercial audience like magazine, newspapers, textbook, lecture notes. But nowadays, written format sometimes is not relevant anymore because we are more on digitalization era, yeah, whereby we are more on electronic format. Everything we can get a PDF sometimes. Yeah, we can get PDF, which is easy to read. But I'm more on traditional ones. Yeah, sometimes I print because I'm more comfortable in reading the printed ones. Yeah, compared to the electronic ones. Yeah. Okay, but it depends on the person. Yeah. Okay. These are the suggestion of data sources. Yeah, World Trade Organization, OECD, IMF, yeah, World Bank, and so on. Yeah, so World Bank and so on. So those who are accounting, finance student, or management students, or international business student, you can browse these electronic data sources. You get the desired data that you want. Especially UGMP students. Previously, for those who are in final stage, some of you experience of need to do secondary data. So probably you can go for this data to get what you want. Yeah. Example, index data, percentage data, and so on. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Comparative advantage of primary and secondary data. What is the difference between those two? Actually, it depends on you. Okay. But if you feel that you want to save a cost or sometimes free, go for secondary data. Primary data is more expensive because if you do interview or questionnaire, you need to print the questionnaire, you need to travel to other places to get the respondent, which is expensive. You need to spend a lot of money in doing primary data. Observation, yeah, you need to, let's say you go to supermarket, you need to pay for ticket, parking ticket, and then you need to, what we call as, spend fuel, petrol on it, yeah, and then need to print papers and so on, which is more costly, yeah, which is talking about costly. But secondary data, low cost or sometimes free. If you are more on money matters, probably you can go for secondary data. Okay, primary data is quite difficult compared to secondary data because time consuming. If you want to get 100 respondent, it's not like you can get within 1 day. Sometimes you can, you have to get within 1 month, yeah, 1 month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, which is time consuming. Yeah, especially for those FYP students which only have one semester. Yes, and then somehow they are doing last minute. How do you want to get 100? Sometimes I feel it funny, you know, whereby FYP student can get 300 respondent within 2 days. Can you imagine that? I sometimes I feel like it's quite funny that 300 respondent in 2 days. Okay, what kind of magic that they done that? Yeah, it's impossible. You know, it is impossible. Either by asking friends to answer or self-answered. That is some main issues. So time consuming is primary data is more time consuming, which is not appropriate to do that. Yeah, 300 respondent in 2 days. No, Okay, but for secondary data, time saving because you can download paper within 10 seconds. Yeah, you got the data, you got the data and then it's okay. But of course, sometimes you need to consume time because you need to search. Definitely. Yeah, because you need to consume time because you want to search. But once you got the data, it is save a lot of time. Yeah. All right, the third one, not always possible. Let's say if you want to interview a minister. Wow, they have 60 or 70 ministers that you want to interview. It is impossible because you need to do appointment, you need to have like procedure protocols, doing a lot of paperwork to do, which is sometimes not possible. Yeah, and then you want to analyze, you want to distribute questionnaire to nurse or doctors, which is sometimes not impossible. Yeah, sometimes possible, sometimes not possible. But for secondary data, sometimes you can get. Yeah, you can get those data. No problem. Okay, because the data is already there, already published. Okay, but however, the advantage of primary data is better accuracy because you yourself asking the respondent. But yeah, accuracy is another question. Yeah, again, I come back for this issue. 300 respondent in 2 days. Yeah, so the accuracy is somehow out of context. Yeah. All right. So better accuracy if you spend your time wisely and then you honestly ask the respondents and so on. But secondary data sometimes biased. Okay, why sometimes biased? Because people A do it differently, people B doing differently, people C doing it differently because sometimes the result generated, sometimes the articles that they written is based on themselves only sometimes, which is biased. Okay, and then for primary data, you are the owner of information. Yeah, since you collect the data by interview, questionnaire, and observation by yourself, yes, the data is owned by you. But for secondary data, anyone can have the data. The journal is belong to someone else. The journal, the newspaper is belong to someone else, and so on. Yeah. Okay. So the selection of you having a primary on secondary data is up to you. Yeah. Okay, I have no objection in that, but please bear in mind, if you selecting primary data, make sure your methodology is related to primary data. But if you choose secondary data, make sure your protocol methodology is following the secondary data. Okay, so done with the data collection. Okay, the last part in the methodology will be data analysis, which is 2.6, stage 6, which is data analysis. Okay, some students, previous semester student, always disregard this one. Always, they call it take it easy. They think that, they use SPSS and that's it. Okay, the problem here is, we can understand that you use SPSS. The question is, what kind of analysis that you run? Are you going for descriptive? Are you going for inferential? Are you going for other analysis, time series, or are you going for cross-sectional? Are you going for other analysis, KMO, Bartlett, or whatever analysis? Because you just say, SPSS only, and that's it. No, it's not. SPSS is only software or tools. Yeah, it's not an analysis. Yeah, it's a software or tool. So you need to do that. But if you want me to explain on SPSS, and then other qualitative software, that one need more time because it is not easy to conduct SPSS or Atlas T or NVivo because it needs more time to explain. I just explain on the basic analysis regarding quantitative and qualitative analysis. Okay, let's have a look at the quantitative. So if you are saying that quantitative, which is by numbers, therefore you will apply statistic in order to draw conclusion or make prediction. Yeah, that means the result, yeah, you will conclude in the chapter 4 and 5. Okay, so there are two types of analysis, either descriptive or inferential. It can be both. Yeah. Okay, but for qualitative, which is more on narrative, any kind of analysis that produce findings or concept or build hypothesis as a grounded theory, not which is not using statistic. Yeah, the finding is not statistical. Yeah, the finding is more on just telling the story only, the analysis of text, the analysis of images only. Okay, so sometimes you can build the theory and hypothesis, which is from Glaser 1992. Okay, so there are 5 qualitative analysis. You can choose either one. If you're doing qualitative, grounded theory, narrative, discourse, visual, and content. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at quantitative data analysis. I'm sure you need this one, because later on, in chapter 4, because sometimes in chapter 4 you don't know what to put. Okay, sometimes you don't know what to put in the quantitative analysis. Okay, so let's have a look at the first one, descriptive. The word descriptive says that you need to describe the data. Okay, describe the analyzed data. Yeah, that means you need to present the data. I mean the data that you process. Yeah, you can use table, you can use chart, you can use pie, or you can use graph. Oh, okay, so here are some of the methods. I'm not saying that you need to choose all. You can select, but remember, the selection must be based on your research question or research objective. Yeah, do not put unnecessary analysis that not related to your research question. For example, which is index number. Why do you have to put index number when your research question is to measure the perception of technology usage? Index number, let's say, change to retail price. This one is more on economy and finance. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, it is not suitable if you choose index number if you are marketing students, let's say. Yeah. So quantitative analysis, there are some suggestion. You can go for frequency table, yeah, which is how many people who are male or female, yeah, and then this one, yeah, the examples, yeah, number and percentage of employees. Okay, graph and chart, sometimes you can put, okay, usually in the questionnaire you put as a section A, yeah, which is demographic. Yeah, this one, most of them are demographic. Mean, median, mode, standard deviation, up to you, and then multiple bar charts. The selection is up to you, but from my experience, yeah, usually this one, okay, and then frequency tables, yeah, and then graph and chart sometimes, yeah, okay, and then depends, if you want to do class tabulation, is up to you. Multiple bar chart is up to you also. It depends, yeah. Okay, so yeah, you need to present the demographic data usually for descriptive analysis, yeah. Okay, another one, which is inferential statistic. Okay, so for inferential statistic is more on draw inferences about a population in a given sample, which is divided by parametric and non-parametric. So this one, inferential, is more on towards the result itself, pure result. For example, hypothesis testing. If you do finance, more on time series analysis. Pearson, probably you can go for chi-square, t-test, simple regression, multiple regression. It's up to you. Yeah. Okay. But however, we're talking about you need to match your with RQ and RO, research question and research objective. Okay. So usually hypothesis testing must be lah, yeah, because you want to test the hypothesis. Okay, you can do simple regression also can. Yeah. Okay, probability test. Time series is for economic and finance and accounting students and so on. Okay, but if you want to, sorry, you also need to confirm with the supervisor as well what type of what kind of analysis method that you want to have. Yeah. Okay. So that is more on the descriptive and inferential. Let's move on to qualitative. Okay, so for qualitative, which more on narrative and no numbers. Okay, so the data that you have, you transcribe. Yeah, that means you get the data either visual or text or articles and so on. Usually, when you do chapter 2 literature review, you are more on transcribe qualitative first. Okay, because you want to analyze the journal. You want to analyze the journal. That's why you're having a matrix. Yeah, the LR matrix that you've been done before. And then you read those journals, visual, the text, and then generating categories, themes, and patterns. Okay, we're talking about themes that, let's say, most of people talk about chicken, most of people talk about duck, most of people talk about turkey. So we're talking about the bird states. Yeah. So themes is like a group. Yeah, a group of narrative summation on that, and then the patterns. Yeah. Okay, and then once you identify themes and patterns, you will interpret and narrate your finding. What do you want to tell about chicken? What do you want to tell about duck? What do you want to tell about turkey? Yeah. Usually interpreting and narrating, you can explain on your DV and IV when you do literature review. And last one, writing the report. This definitely, yeah, writing the report. Okay, we have 5 data analysis on qualitative. The first one is grounded theory. Okay, so for grounded theory is more on the information that you get, you compare with the original theory. Okay, for example, yeah, let's have a look at the first ABC theory. Theory that this is original theory, which is original theory. So grounded theory means that probably one of the literature include D, one of the literature include E, one of the literature include F here to improvise the original theory. So that is we call as a grounded theory, which is more on theory gap. Okay, narrative analysis means that you tell about stories about chronological or events. So that means it's more on timeline. Okay, sometimes we go on timeline. Okay, let's say if you work as a football commentator. Football commentator's job is to narrate what was happening in the field. That is a narrative analysis. Yeah, you tell the stories. Discourse analysis, you will examine spoken and written language. That means you sometimes you use eyes, sometimes you use ears. Yeah, to analyze what is been written and what has been spoken. Visual analysis, you analyze images. Yeah, like I told you earlier in the earlier slides, that analyze football image. Yeah, football, futsal, swarm football, and also beach football. Okay, so analyzing images and you found out that you can interpret. Yeah, based on those images. And the last one, content analysis. Yeah, you need to convert text to numerical variables for quantitative data analysis because you analyze the content. Yeah, the main point. Yeah, so that is more on qualitative. I believe that most of you are not familiar on doing qualitative, but qualitative usually we are doing in LR only. That means you will do some writings about literature review. But for quantitative is more on statistics, findings, and so on. Okay, so here are the recommended software or running data analysis. For quantitative, if you are going for statistic, yeah, you can do SPSS. But if you want more advanced, you can use SEM, AMOS, or PLS SEM, okay, which is quite technical. But for your level, SPSS is quite enough for you. Okay, but for qualitative, if you study qualitative, you can use Atlas T. I don't have time to explain on Atlas T because it's quite a lot of procedure if you do qualitative. Probably other workshop later on if I have. Yeah. But yeah, you can install SPSS statistic as well. You can get a free version. Yeah, you can get full version is up to you. Yeah. But simply it is helpful. Yeah, it is helpful to for you to run the data and so on. Yeah. Okay, this is the interesting part. Decision to choose methodology by procedure. Okay, so I will explain to you on the methodology here. Okay, you see, let me clean everything first. You can have this one later on, yeah. You can have this one later on. Because some of the student choose the wrong methodology, so that's why I come up with this. Okay, sometimes you don't need to start from the front, yeah, because probably some of the areas that you feel that this might be difficult. Okay, probably you can start with this one. Oh, are you going for quantitative, mixed method, or qualitative? Okay, so if you are more on quantitative, definitely you are more on selecting deductive approach, okay, and then selecting value free, axiology, objectivism, ontology, and then epistemology, positivism. Definitely. And then definitely is a course study, but yeah, you need to choose which one. Okay, either courses, are you going for Excel research or case study or experimental or longitudinal? Okay, for the selection of research design, every research study can complement all this. It is up to you. For let's say if you struggle in this one, let's say if you are more on questionnaire, yeah, definitely it's more on Excel research. Definitely. Yeah, it's more on Excel research. And the statistic that you want to come out definitely is more on quantitative. Okay, for Excel research, definitely case study. So if you are more on questionnaire, definitely these are the routes. Yeah, these are the routes. Sorry. Positivism. Okay, so this one, these are what you select. The wrong thing you are doing is, let's say, the wrong thing that you will be done, there is a risk. Please be careful about this one, because wrong selection will lead towards deduction, marks deduction. You choosing questionnaire, but suddenly your research design is a longitudinal design, which is not. Yeah, it is incorrect. And then somehow your longitudinal design is more on exploratory, which is not. So the procedure is wrong, the selection is wrong, and then definitely the methodology is somehow wrong. So that's why I make you easier. Please do not cite me. Yeah, this is more on do not cite me. Don't cite me. Just we call it as this one I provide to you to make you easier. Yeah. Okay. So if you are more on secondary data, especially for finance student, either you can go for case study or longitudinal design, cross-sectional, archival, or comparative. So if you use let's say more on case study, yeah, you can go either which is quantitative or definitely is a course study. Okay, because case study is more on Y. Okay, but explore is more on quali and mixed method, which is sometimes you are not apply. Okay, so courses study have different option, like longitudinal, cross-sectional, archival, and cooperative design. Okay, so please be careful about this one, especially because this is quite diverse. It depends on what kind of research study are you in. Okay, usually most of the students are wrong in this one, so you need to be careful. Consult with the supervisor. Consult with the supervisor and see is it correct or not. Okay. I hope those supervisors who are attending in this workshop, understand about this one, because I will share this one later on with them. Okay. I hope this will be helpful for you to select the best. But bottom line is you need to have 6 stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, and stage 6. It must be available. Okay, one more thing. If you do questionnaire, you need to do some sampling. Yeah. Okay. If you do questionnaire, you must have some sampling. Yeah. Okay. So that is the first thing. That is a selection that we are talking about. Okay. This is the drafting chapter 3. Yeah. What will you put in the chapter 3? The first one, the overview of chapter 3. What is the chapter 3 is all about? And then this is a suggestion. If you want to make it better, yes, please do so. Yeah, you can do that. Research philosophy, you need to explain all. Epistemology, ontology, axiology, and then you need to cite as well, describe the definition of research philosophy, explain of type of epistemology, what is ontology, axiology, and then choose which one. Either are you more on Okay, you need to select, are you on positive, and then you choose, and then you need to explain why as well. Because everything you need to be justified. Yeah, okay. You cannot select just like that. You need to justify and give reason why. Okay, for research approach, okay, for 3.3, you explain on inductive and deductive, justify why. If you choose deductive, why? If you choose inductive, why? Okay. And for stage 3, which is 3.4, research strategy, okay, this one you don't have to explain quantitative, mixed method, or qualitative. You just go for selection. They say if you choose quantitative and why. How do you conduct a quantitative study? Yeah. And then research design. You have research study. Okay, you can explain all three and then choose one, or you want to go straight away for courses study and why, or discrete study and why, and this one why. Yeah, every selection you need to justify. Okay, research study, choose and justify your selection, your research study. And then selection on design, okay, you need to explain the process of selecting research design relate to your topic. Okay, that means what kind of design that are you going for? Action research, case study, experimental, longitudinal, cross-sectional, archival, comparative? You choose and why. Okay, so procedures, do not forget, if you choose action research, go and search the journals, find the procedure on conducting action research. Okay, I give an example. Let's say if you do case study, you need to come up with the procedures. Or process, sorry. Steps or process. Steps. Okay, for step 2, analyze a case study data. Okay, so you need to explain the procedure, the protocol of conducting case study. Let's see. Okay, let's say you find this journal. 4-step analyze data from a case study method. So how do you want to analyze the case study? For example, this one, case study structure. So that is how you done. Yeah. Okay, please make sure that you need to cross check. Not only this one, probably you can go for the other one. Or if you cannot find step, probably you can go for method. The case study method. You can find this one, and then they will explain to you the procedures. Yeah. Okay, let's say if you go for action research. This one they explain about the process, or probably about action research. This one. A method, you see a method of action research. Yeah, okay, you can find that, and you can do this one also can action research as a research method. Okay, you can find this one to explain the process or procedure. Okay, definition of action research, you can cite this guy, yeah, Wang 2000 what is it, what is the year there? What is the year? There's no year there. 2015, yeah, 2015. Okay, you can have a look. Okay, procedures. You see procedures. You can explain the procedures which is in this section. Sorry, not this one. This one, procedures or steps. Yeah. Let me check if I have journals method. Yeah. I have some. Yeah, I have some. Okay, you can have a look at that later on. Yeah, I will provide later on in the Google Drive. So you can explain on the procedures, but you need to read and then you need to summarize. Yeah. Okay, do not put everything. Yeah, just sum up everything and then make it easy process. If you want to explain on the diagram the process, yes, you can do as well. Yeah, we're talking about procedures and steps. Okay, next one is data collection, which is either primary data or secondary data. Yeah, method. Explain how you collect the data, either primary or secondary, and then explain on the step of collecting data. This one, very important. Yeah, where do you get those data? Yeah, especially for secondary data. Secondary data, you need to declare where do you got those data, either from World Bank or WDI or International Monetary Fund. But for primary, for questionnaire, you need to explain. Yeah, you got you got the data from the respondent, blah blah blah, and so on. But if you choose primary data and questionnaire, you need to explain sampling. Yeah, okay, include population, sampling technique, sample size calculation, and so on. Okay, this one regarding sampling and so on, you can refer to textbook. Okay, you can refer to textbook. I give you this textbook as well. Okay, I give you this textbook as well. You can refer to, do not copy and paste too much. Okay, so you go for this one, primary data collection. Okay, primary data collection, go for the section of questionnaire. If you do questionnaire, questionnaire. All right, where is interview? This is an interview. The interview. Where is the questionnaire? Okay, yeah, this is a questionnaire. Okay, if you want to know more about questionnaire, you can read at page 177 in this book. Okay, yeah, questionnaire. What is the advantage of questionnaire? The procedure of questionnaire, and then you're talking about the questions here. Okay, so one more thing that I want to add here is, yeah, if you choose questionnaire, you need to add up like this. I think 3.6.5 questionnaire structure. Let's say if you choose questionnaire. Okay, but if you not choose questionnaire, you don't have to put it. Okay, you need to explain section A, B, and B, and so on. Yeah, what are the statements that you have in the questionnaires and so on. Yeah, so if you do sampling, yeah, I mean, for especially for those who are doing interview or questionnaire, you need to explain population, sampling size, sample size calculation, and etc. You need to have a look at textbook. Okay. All right. So next will be data analysis. Explain the selection of data analysis technique. Subsection you can add depends on your selection. Let's say if you want to have 3.7.1, 3.7.2, 3.7.3, yes, you can have that. It's up to you. What kind of analysis? But again, yeah, I'm talking about the analysis must be matched with the research question. And the last one, chapter conclusion. Conclude everything in chapter 3 using honeycomb method. You need to explain the honeycomb as well. Okay, what does that mean is, it will be best if you sum up using this one. Sum up this one. Okay, you draw this one as a conclusion, this honeycomb. Yeah, and then you put research philosophy. Let's say you put positivism, and then objectivism, and then value free. Let's say you put inside the comb here. Or if your research approach is more on deductive, yeah, just put inside. This is the summary. So we will see it, and then, oh, there is a way that you do it, and then yeah, there is a summary. Quantitative for research strategy, let's say you are more on action research, data collection, let's say questionnaires. It is example only. And then those two statistics you can put. This is a summary of how you do it by using this one. If you're able to draw this one, that might be good as your summary. So summary, we just read summary. Oh, okay. That means you explain everything here. Yeah. Okay. That means we will check and then to see whether you use a right method or not. Okay. So I already covered everything in the methodology. Okay. Chapter's conclusion. Okay. But before we going for the break session, Shwari, did I answer your question on the method selection? Hello, Shwari, are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I hope that this one will help you, especially in this part. Yeah, especially in this part. Yeah. So this one I will give for free. Yeah.
Okay,
Before.
sir.
All right. No worries. Yeah, because I don't want you to choose a wrong method. Choose the wrong. Okay. Any other question than that? Any other question than that? Okay, can you teach me on how to use SPSS? Okay, this one need a long time to do. Okay, but if you want to start first, okay, I will show you on sometimes I self-taught on SPSS. No one teach me before, but if you want to start first, okay, SPSS for beginners. So if you want to start first, if you are eager to learn SPSS, okay, so I'm suggest to you to go for this one. Okay, how to use SPSS for beginners. Okay, so just spend some time, and then yeah, they will teach you on how to enter the data, variables, and then how to run descriptive and frequencies, and then correlation, and then so on. Okay, so study this one first. Later on, if let's say if I have some time, then I will teach SPSS, because it's taking a long time to teach SPSS. It's like a one workshop. Yeah, it's like a one workshop. So I teach. I share with you this link. I share you this link, so you can click and then you can learn first, Elaine. Later on, Elaine, probably we can do some consultation on that. Yeah, for data analysis. Okay. So study this one first. Yeah, Elaine, study this one first. Take some time. Yeah, like 1 hour, 1 hour plus. Yeah, to watch all this. Yeah. Meanwhile, while you are doing it, yeah, you can run the data. Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Um, that one, Bodit, that one you raised a hand earlier. Do you have any question? Okay. Hello, sir. If I use descriptive statistic in chapter 4, does that mean I need to use descriptive research design method, since my research is about forecasting trend? What in research, asking what in research question and not why? Okay. All right. I repeat again. If I use descriptive statistic in chapter 4, okay. Bode, can you write down the research question so I can have a look, and or the topic? Probably if you don't have a research question, probably you can come up with the topic. Okay, I can wait. Yeah, I can wait. No problem. If you can have a research question or research objective or topics, probably from that I can figure out something. Does that mean I will need to use descriptive research design? Forecasting, okay. Yeah, you're saying about forecasting. So if you are saying about forecasting employed person in Malaysia, based on, okay, if you do forecasting, supposed to be like this. Okay, where's it? Okay, forecasting usually secondary data, and then usually forecasting is more on longitudinal design. And then you want to go for, it's not descriptive. If descriptive, that means you need to do qualitative as well. You are doing quantitative, right? Isn't it? If you are doing quantitative, that means you are more on causal study. Yeah, this one. This is for you. Okay, this is for you. Because you are forecasting. Forecasting is more on longitudinal design. Time series, and then this one, analysis that will be done. Okay, hopefully I am answer your question. Yes. Snap this one for you. Snap this one so you will not miss something. This is not for you, This is not for you. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else's? No. Okay. All right. If you have no question, okay, now is 10:53. Okay, so I will start. Sorry, we will take a break on 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay, 10 minutes, and then after that I will continue with the chapter. Sorry, the next part. Yeah, which is more on writing chapter 1. 10 minutes. Okay, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So we can get a copy of this note and video after the class. Yes. In fact, at the end of the workshop, it's not class, it's a workshop. At the end of the workshop, yeah, there will be a form to fill up. Yeah, there will be form to fill up, the attendance form to fill up. You will fill the name and then the student ID and then the email. So I will share later on the video, recording video, and then I will also share the materials, yeah, available that I give to you, especially this one. This is materials for workshop. Yes, the second workshop. Okay. If you need, for those who have missed the first one, the first workshop, I will cross check with the email, and then I will share with you as well for the first workshop. Yeah. Okay. So let's continue with the next part. Yeah. Okay. So what does the next part says? Okay. But let me check. Okay. Just to make sure that it is recorded. Okay, yes. If I require more help or environment, I can contact you. Yes, contact this number. Okay. Contact this number. Okay, appointment lah ya, appointment. Do not, I'm not encouraged to walk in because I don't know whether I'll be free or busy. Yeah, so it depends. Yeah, okay. I try my best to help. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at chapter 1. Yeah, I can understand that some of the student likes to start with chapter 1 first. But the problem here is, if you write chapter 1 and then you start with the literature review because you did not get any journals that you want, and then you need to repeat back doing chapter 1. You know what I'm saying? So, from chapter 1 and chapter 3 that you have been done, automatically you can write down straight away chapter 1. Okay, even though it is drafted. Okay, even though it is drafted. So, we don't want you to have a mistake whereby you come up with the chapter 1 and then suddenly you found out that you are not able to find the materials that related to chapter 2. That is a big problem. And then you end up with changing the topic once again, and then you need to do it again and so on. Because remember that for chapter 1, is more on if the idea of writing chapter 1 is depends on writing chapter 2. Yeah, what you write in chapter 2 will be transferred in chapter 1 also sometimes. Yeah. So now I will explain to you on how to write chapter 1. Okay. How to write. Okay, so let's go to the slides. Okay. I got this book here. Yeah, I mean, like, this one is from UITM. I call this book as Strategies for Academic Writing. You can, if you are interested, let me check if UITM have an available stock for this one. Yes, Strategies for Academic Writing by Hajiba Osman. Yeah, I cited it as Osman 2012. So this book helped me to give some ideas on how to write. Yeah, how to write your thesis or FYP and UGMP. In fact, this book helped me to write PhD as well. A little bit, help. Yeah. Okay, so that is the books about. Yeah. Okay. What does introduction do in chapter 1? Okay. What will you put chapter 1? Yeah. For the first one, you will introduce. That means the simple word here is to intro. Yeah, you need to tell us what is the topic is all about in your research area and research topic is all about. If you do on employee performance, yes, that means your research area and research topic, you will intro about employee performance or employee retention, or probably if you want to go for customer satisfaction and then your research area, you need to introduce more on customer satisfaction and so on. The second one, presenting the originality and the relevance of the contribution of research presenting. Okay, I know some of you might not understand this one. What I'm saying here is, okay, what is the originality? We're talking about what is so special about your research compared to the other authors? I repeat again, what is so special? What is so special about your research compared with the other research? Other previous research. That means originality. Okay, I give one example. I'm not saying in Malay. I'm trying to do it in English. Okay, let's say there is a song title named Love Me. Let's say Love Me. Okay, that song title Love Me previously was sang by let's say band A, and then band A was singing in 2000, let's say, and then there is a new version of Love Me that is singing by band B in let's say 2010. Okay, let's say this is you, which is you are doing in 2021. What I'm saying here is, what is so original that you sing a Love Me song compared with the band A and band B that sang the same song before? Is it the originality in terms of lyrics? Is it the originality in terms of the melody? Is it the originality in terms of the genre? So the title is the same. Yeah, the title is the same, singing by different band, and then even singing by you. But the question here is, what is so special about your song compared to the other two? That is, we call it as a originality. Yeah. If you learn research methodology, we can call it as a novelty. Okay, novelty means that your specialty. That means we're talking about uniqueness. Yeah. So therefore, if you study about customer satisfaction, let's say, there are so many studies on customer satisfaction. Yeah, let's say by author A, author B, author C, author D, author D, until then, and then there is you. So what is your specialty, your originality of your research on customer satisfaction compared with all these five? That one can be determined by gaps, that can be determined by problem statement and so on. Okay, so introduction is all about, we're talking about you present your specialty, the uniqueness about your work. Yeah, okay. And then marks a link between what's gone before in the relevant field of the research and present work. Okay, let's say you're talking about economic performance. Okay, Ali has done before. Ali in, let's say, 2004. Abu has done about the same topic on 2006. Ahmad conduct this study on 2008. Arif, let's say, talking about 2015. Let's say you in 2021. That means you link your economic performance study with the previous study that has been done before. Okay, so we're talking about, is there any similarities and differences between your study and Arif's study, or research done by Ahmad? Is that a similarities and differences between your study and Abu's study on 2006 on Ali? We call it as a link. That means the continuation of the previous work. Ali, Abu, Ahmad, Arif has done the same topic before. Your job is just to continue whatever that have been studied before. Okay, because at the end of the day, Ali have their own contribution, own findings. Abu also have their own findings, contribution. Ahmad have own findings. Arif have own findings. That means the result from his thesis or research. How about you? How about your findings? Does your findings different from another or have similarities? That's why we are linked with your current one and the present one, so to speak. Yeah, so that is a introduction is all about you comparing your work with the previous work. Yeah, so that is we talking a little bit about introduction. Yeah. Okay, so these are the recommended section, recommended subsection in chapter 1. What should you put? Background of the study, statement of the problem, objective, research question, definition of terms, scope, limitation, significant, and thesis structure. Okay. A lot of you might thinking that, sir, where is the research gap? Where should I put research gap? Where should I put research rationale? My solution is simple. My solution is simple. I don't want to make you complicated. If you want to follow me, that's okay. If you don't want to follow me, also that's okay. This one. This is the most important and very crucial one. Statement of the problem. You can put rationale in the statement problem. You can put gaps also in the statement of problem. Later on, I will tell you why. Later on, I will tell you why. Why I put rationale or gaps in the statement of the problem. Instead of you separating by rationale or gaps, yeah, that might be too complicated. So, because I'm supervising, not only I'm supervising but also marking, the first thing I'm looking at chapter 1 is this one. This one, this one, and this one. If your three areas are strong enough and solid, yeah, that makes me impressive. That means I'm reading that, oh, okay, there is a justification of about the statement problem. I mean, the objective is there. Research question is solid because they are using PICO. Yeah, you get like 80% and 90% or 10% on the introduction section. Okay, because these are the three crucial areas. Yeah, without looking at this one. This one might be later on. Yeah, usually I'm looking at this one. But some student want ask me to check. Sir, can you check me chapter 1? I didn't put much on the other areas. This one, I'm looking at this one. Okay, if this one is not solid, not enough, not good enough, you need to do it again and again. Okay, I will tell you some tips on how to write that. So here are some of the recommended section. You can follow, or if you don't want to follow, that is okay. That is okay for you. Just a recommendation only. Okay, background of the study. Yeah, what should you put in the background of the study? Okay, some people, some student mistaken about background of the study and the problem statement. Okay, background of the study means that, let's say if you do some camping, if you do some camping and then your background is a nature, yeah, let's say if you do some campfire and then your background is a nature we have trees and so on, right? Okay, so background of the study means that you're telling about background of the nature. Yeah, so that is a background of the study. All right, what should you put in the background of study? Present the background or scenario or the phenomenon of the current situation relating to the issue or focus of the research, which is known as the scene setting. That's why if you do some camping fire whereby your background is nature, you need to tell about the nature, yeah, the forest and then everything. But in the research, you're talking about the scenario, the phenomenon, yeah, the phenomenon that real things happen, yeah, real things happen. Okay, and then also in the background of study, yeah, you need to answer this one. Why do you want to conduct this study, this research on this topic? I'm not expecting you to say that, oh, I want to conduct this research on this topic because I'm comfortable with it. That is not the solid or acceptable answer. You need to justify based on the citation and referencing and so on. Okay, so here are the example. Okay, this is the journals that I recently published. Yeah, the influence of COVID-19 towards key economics performance in Malaysia. So we're talking about this one, phenomenon. Okay, phenomenon which is currently happen, which is scene setting. Scene setting. So in the background of study, I'm talking about this phenomenon, this real things happen, which is COVID-19 disease, yeah, which is disease happen and then detected in Wuhan, China, and then WHO call for emergency lockdown, and then there is a statistic that 16.8 million people, which is for 1.5 million death, and then what we call as obligatory national lockdown, and then government restrict the movement and so on. So I'm not talking about economic performance yet. I'm just talking about the scenario phenomenon happen. Okay, another example, yeah. If you want to analyze or study on employees' performance in a particular company, the background of study is you need to explain on the situation of employees' performance scenario, not only around the global but also through details. Okay, the tips here is talk about global setting first and then narrow down to the context specific. Okay, in this case, yeah, for COVID-19, I'm talking about global first, which is world. And then, yeah, after that, going down, I'm specify itu Malaysia, because my study is more on Malaysia. So I'm talking about COVID-19 with the world situation and then Malaysia COVID-19 situation. So that is how I do a background of study. So therefore, with this setting, the storytelling tells you that, okay, you need to study on COVID-19 cases, yeah, which is influence towards key economic performances. Okay, so bottom line is, background of the study, you're talking about the real things happen, the phenomenon which is scene setting. Okay, all right. When you're talking about, let's say, another example, taxation on economic growth. Okay, so background of the study means that you need to tell about tax worldwide, tax situation around the world, and then need to be specified in your country. Let's say if you are doing in Thailand, therefore, your background of study need to tell from tax worldwide until tax into Thailand. So that is a background of the study. Yeah, that means need to support with the statistic. It's a better thing that you need to support with the global that means the statistic available, yeah, from the news, the statistic, and so on. That is a background of the study. Okay, next is a statement of the problem. The word problem says that, yeah, it's an issue that need to be solved. Okay, so statement of problem means that you will mention about what are the problem arise, which is not only real case problem or issue arise, and also problems related to your work. What will be your, sometimes you can put consider it as limitation as well. Okay, but if you're saying about statement of the problem, okay, you can highlight the gaps, you can highlight rationally. Yeah, so usually, if you want to highlight the gaps, yeah, I suggest that one gap, one paragraph. Yeah, do not put all gaps in one paragraph. Do not, because at the end of the day, you need to explain. Okay, let me tell you about what is research gap is all about. Research gap is any idea for which is missing or insufficient information. In other words, any research area has not been done by previous researchers. Previous researchers has done the work before, but yeah, you can fill up the opportunity whereby you can conduct wherever that they have been done before. Okay, I give an example. Yeah, hopefully you can see the gaps. Yeah. Okay. According to Muller Block and Kranz 2015, so they suggested there are like 5 gaps, but it is up to you. Yeah, you can have only one gap, you can have only 2, 3, 4, 5. It's up to you. Yeah, but later on, yeah, in the chapter 5, let's say you identify 2 or 3 gaps. In the conclusion, you need to fill up all those 3 gaps. You need to answer that. Yeah. Okay. I give an example here. There are 5 types of gap. The first one, methodological conflict or methodological gap. Okay, this is whereby you can conduct a research based on the method that never been used before. Okay, I give you an example. Yeah, previous studies on customer satisfaction research since 2020 are more on using questionnaire. Yeah, therefore the researcher which is you, you want to extend the study by focusing on qualitative via face-to-face interview. So you see, what does that mean is, so many people using questionnaire before. but you feel that you want to do something different, okay, which is focusing on qualitative. So you doing something different that previous people has never been done before. So how do you want to detect your methodological gap? Remember the literature metrics that I've been done before. Okay, so let me allow me to open again. Okay, allow me to open the literature, sorry, the series one again. Literature sample. Okay, LR on topic. Okay, what does methodological says? Okay, you see, these are the methodology. One of them is research design. If so many people doing questionnaire, yes, that means you can have an opportunity to fill a gap by doing another way, another method, which is, let's say you want to do by interview. So many people doing questionnaire, but you want to do interview. That is one of the gaps. No need to cite directly, but you are referring based on the previous research. Yeah, so that is a methodological conflict. Or you feel that the sampling, let's say. So many people use, let's say, collect data, 321 people, 290, 150. So probably you can have a data collection like using other sampling technique. Or analysis gap also. If so many people use descriptive correlation, probably you can do like, if so many people use SPSS, probably you can do other software like PLS SEM or AMOS, something like that. But I told you earlier that, remember, these gaps is optional. These gaps are optional. If you want to go for methodological gap, yes, you can go. But if you don't want to go, that's okay. You can choose other things. All right. The second one, another thing is future research. I almost forget. Have a look at future research. This one. Okay. You can read this one because future research gives you a suggestion of how do you want to continue the other people's study. Okay, so they give you a suggestion. Oh, you should do this way. You should do this way. You should do this way. So you can have a look and you can identify as the gap. Yeah, look at the future research as well. Yeah, at chapter 5. Yeah. Okay, that's the first one. The second one, contradictory evidence. Okay, contradictory evidence means that the findings that done by other researchers, okay, which is we're talking about, you want to find something different compared to the other researchers' finding. Okay, I'll give you an example. Recent research by 20 authors proven that consumption does not influence gross domestic product. So 20 people say the same thing. So you want to prove otherwise. Hence, the researcher want to test this relationship to prove otherwise. That means you want to prove that consumption influence gross domestic product. So that means you're talking about different findings. Okay, you can find gaps from the findings as well. Where do you want to find this contradictory of the evidence? Have a look at key findings. Key findings. Okay, you can compare, and then whatever that is missing, you can use as yours. Okay, this one. Yeah, you can have a look at these key findings in order for you to find a missing link. Okay, the third one, which is knowledge or scope void, which is referring to CO in the research question. Okay, I give an example here. Since July 2020, the COVID-19 influence toward economic performance study is covered Europe and South America. Hence, it's a motivation by a researcher to continue the study, extend the scope to Asia. Because they never been to Asia before, that means no study has been conducted to Asia. So there's an opportunity for you to fill a gap. So how to find that one? You analyze the LR. Go to this one, scope or context. Okay, as you can see here, Kenya, Ethiopia, Kenya, Filipino, and Banglo. So you can cover Malaysia, you can cover Indonesia, you can cover Thailand, which is not done by other researchers before. Yeah, you see. Why do you have to do for Kenya again? Because the Kenya studies has already conducted before. Why do you have to go for Filipino? Because there is a one study on Filipino. You know what I'm saying, right? So you can make a differentiation based on the scope or context. Yeah. Okay. All right. If you choose contradictory evidence, okay, one paragraph. If you choose knowledge or scope void, one paragraph. Okay, theory gap. Okay, there is a theory gap whereby to improve, any intervention or any adjustment made or suggested by other researchers in order to for you to include that. Okay, for example, the researcher suggests that to improve theory of planned behavior, it needs additional variable. You see, they suggest you to add more IVs or more IVs, which is knowledge. Hence, the researcher is planned to perform intervention from original theory by the inclusion of knowledge. So, for theory gap, yeah, sometimes you can find at independent variables of future research. Okay, have a look at this one. See. Okay. There are similarities whereby training and development. So sometimes you can use again and sometimes you can apply once again. Okay, compensation and so on. And sometimes you can found at this one. You see? All right, again, and let's have a look at this one. This is suggested by Tadesse that depth study in other establishment in the country by considering more factors. You see, considering more factors, that means they suggest you to add more IVs, independent variables. Okay, or this one, Nyaboke suggests you to test training and development in another context. That means cover another scope to include like in Malaysia, in Thailand, to test this another IV. Okay, so that is how you do a theory gap. Yeah, I have a sample later on in my journal. Later on I will share. And then other gaps lead to look at a suggestion by researcher at future research direction or recommendation. Okay, let me show you this one. Okay, so this is the journal that I've been published recently. Okay, whereby I'm doing this one, influence of COVID-19 active cases. Okay, this one I already highlighted, and you need to look. Okay, this area, what I put here, background of the studies. Okay, this one also. You can read this one. At least I have some inspiration to write your thesis. Yeah, problem statement. This is the gap. You see? Okay, let me show you how I highlighted the gap. All right, let me read out for you. Since June 2020, COVID-19 onset has attracted academicians globally to conduct research on this epic pandemic on the economy. Among them are a few Eastern countries. This one has been done before. China has been done before. Indonesia has been done before. So what I'm doing here is, this is my gap. Okay, I'm doing this one. I follow their work, researcher footstep, in examining and forecasting the effect on the economic performance in Malaysia context. Why I'm doing this one? Because there is no mention about Malaysia. Because I'm just continuing their work from Vasilijeva, Zhang, and also Prawoto, Purnomo, and Zahra. So this is my gap. Yeah, I'm extending the study by covering other places. Okay, all right. So that is one of my gap. Here is I only highlighted one gap. But for your FYP and UGMP is up to you. Yeah, you want to do one, you want to do two or three, also can, no problem, as long as it is solid. And also, this is my theory gap. I use 5 key economic indicators. This is my theory gap. Yeah, I put CPI, I put the forex, I put the stock market performance, unemployment, and GDP. So this is my theory gap. Yeah, whereby this is my original theory. Yeah, and then I will use this one only, exogenous. Endogenous theory. Yeah, which is this one, supposed to be openness to trade, something like that. Yeah. So what I'm saying here is, Yeah, this is also a problem statement that I will solve later. Yeah, I will fill up later my gap. Okay, so that is how I did it. Yeah, this one I have two gaps, which is more on scope gap, and also theory gap, which is this one. Oh, I do number 3 and number 4. Yeah, okay, so that is how I did it. Okay, from the problem statement, you need to come up with the objective of the study. Yeah, okay, you need to derive the objective from the problem statement. You need to link your problem statement with the objective. Minimum one objective, no maximum rule. Usual, I know you want to, you don't have some idea on what statement that you should want to put. You can put either investigate, either you want to examine, you want to analyze. For example, to investigate the impact of hurricane towards financial losses of the household. You see the word here, investigate. You want to investigate, that means you want to conduct an inquiry. The second one, to analyze financial performance of ABC Sendirian Berhad. Again, do analyze. And then to examine the relationship between number of staff and service quality. So these are the three common words that you can put in the objective of the study. Yeah. Okay. Going back to this one here. Okay. So as you can see here, I put this one as my objective. Yeah. Okay. This paper aims to examine. You see the word examine the impact of COVID-19 active cases. And then I put here to project. Okay, because why I'm coming with the project, because I'm doing a forecasting project the upcoming 3 months. Yeah, because I'm doing forecasting, therefore I cannot examine, because examine, analyze, and evaluate or investigate is for the past data, for the future data. For the past data. But for forecasting, I cannot examine or I cannot analyze, because it's not past data, it's a future data. So these are the two objectives that I put in my journal here. Yeah, examine and also to project. This one is the past, this one is the future. Okay, so that is a two okay. Sorry, this one is another gap, theory gap. Yeah, theory gap. Okay, so that is the objective of the study. Okay, research question. From the research question, you need to derive from the objective. Yeah, because one of the critical mistake that done by student, if the RO and RQ is not tally at all. What I'm saying here is not tally is, let's say if you want to examine on the relationship between foreign direct investment and economic growth. Okay, let's say your RO is FDI towards economic growth. But suddenly your RQ is, what is your entry mode towards national economy? So which is not tally. FDI and entry mode is a difference. So you need to cross check your RO and RQ. Yeah. So because I see so many cases whereby RO and RQ is not tally. Yeah. So you need to be careful, and you need to research question is so important, because you need to have a solid research question using PICO method, which I already covered in the workshop 1. Okay, so sometimes single research objective can come up with multiple research question. Let's say one RO, you can come up with RQ1, RQ2, RQ3. You can have that. Yeah, but sometimes if you have 4 RO and then 4 RQ, that is also fine for me. But I'm suggest that one objective, that's enough. 1 or 2 objective, that's enough. But research question, you need to have many, because you will answer this later in the chapter 5. Yeah, which is conclusion. Okay, you can use 5W1H method. Yeah, which is what, when, where, whom, and another one is which, and this one is how. But usually for your research, which is what, why, and how. Usually what, why, and how. Well, usually why, if you are, because you want to study on causal effect, what or why or how. Yeah, it depends. Yeah. Okay. You see, a research question is very important because you will answer at chapter 5. Okay, the next one, the next section will be definition of terms. Okay, any terms peculiar to an area of discipline. So whatever that the terms that related to your research, related to your discipline or the study, you need to come out and give the definition. Even though you already give definition at chapter 2, you need to recap back at chapter 1. Okay, in order to guide readers to understand. Because sometimes readers do not understand. For example, you are doing HR, but the readers are scientists or doctors. Sometimes they don't understand the terminology of HR, so you need to come up with the definition. Let's say if you are international business student, okay, but the readers for your paper is, let's say, agriculture people. So sometimes they don't understand the terminology of IB, so you need to give the definition. Yeah, example, if you study of entry mode, you need to put the definition. What is the entry mode? What is internalization? What is licensing? What is franchising? And etc. Yeah. So one term, one paragraph. One term, one paragraph. Entry mode, one paragraph. Internalization, different definition, one paragraph. Licensing definition, one paragraph. Franchising, one paragraph, and so on. Yeah. You need to look at the thesis sample. If you can find a thesis sample, sometimes they put definition of terms. Yeah. Okay, scope of the study. What do you cover? In what context do you cover? Scope of the study need to looking back at the CO and PICO method, which is context. So, what is your coverage of your study? Coverage of your study, research. Okay, some student, they feel that, okay, there is a wrong interpretation of scope of study. Let's say if they are doing purchasing intention of smartphone. So the scope of study is purchasing intention, which is not. Scope means that who, yeah? That means who do you want to cover. Alright, for example, if you want to study employee, which is population, on sexual harassment perception, which is your interest, towards nurse, which is the context here of nurse, therefore, your scope of study is nurse. So you need to explain about nurse in your scope of study. In this study, we want to cover about nurse. It is because nurse are the what we call it, most exposed, most exposed group of employees. Let's say, yeah. So you need to explain the scope of study. The coverage here is you are covering nurse. Another example, if you want to study on auditing performance, which is I, among banks, which is population, in banking industry CO context, so your scope is covering on banking industry. You need to tell a little bit about the banking industry. In this study, we are covering, the scope here is on banking industry, comprises of 11 banks in Malaysia, blah, 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 and so on. Okay, so you need to look at your CO. Your CO is your scope of the study. Yeah. Okay. Alright, for those who are not in the workshop one, okay, please consult with the supervisor on PICO method. Yeah. Okay, so yes. Okay. Next one is a limitation of the study. This is a kind of funny area that I found out when I'm reading this limitation of the study. Sometimes I feel I want to laugh in my stomach. Okay, why? Okay, let me tell you why. Many students misuse or abuse this section. Yeah, they think that limitation is a problem is faced by students during FYP and UGMP. Yeah, that means what is your challenges when you are doing FYP and UGMP? It's not. Okay, I give an example. Oh, one of my limitation is time constraint. I do not have time to do research. Every day I have part-time work, and then I need to find money. And then I do not have time because I have a commitment of my marriage, and then I need to spend time with my wife and my kids, which is totally unacceptable when we are doing your limitation of the study. It's more on personal limitation. You cannot simply put that in your limitation of the study. Because I'm married with someone else and then I need to have time. No, it's not. Yeah. Another bad example. My limitation is I don't know how to do data analysis using SPSS. This is more on your personal problem. Okay, personal limitation. You should not put that. Okay, what you should put in the limitation of study is problem associated with the study, the nature of the study itself. For example, you have a problem, the data is incompleted, yeah, which is limited from World Bank. This one is acceptable because it is out of your control. Out of your control. You cannot get the data. What you can do? Yeah, I mean, let's say the data, you want to study on year 2000 until 2019. But somehow the data you have is, let's say, 2010 until 2019 only. Okay, so what you can do? There is an incomplete data, which is out of your control. Okay, the second one, difficulties in getting respondent regarding scam issues. Okay, this one probably because of the sensitive subject, whereby you found it struggle, which is a limitation that limit your ability to conduct a research. Okay, and then the last one, because it is out of your control, too many error result from the statistical analysis because the data is too small. This one can be acceptable because, yeah, what you can do, because it's the result, the data is generated already. So if all results say that it's not significant, yeah, there is a limitation. What you can do is out of your control. But this problem, like time constraint, I don't know how to do SPSS, and then let's say my limitation is my parents not allow me to collect data, which is more on personal. You can control this. Yeah, you can control this one, especially UGMP student. If you're saying that it's a time constraint, okay, I will strangle you because you have a 2 semester to do. How can you say that is a time constraint? Yeah, 2 semester, which is start and end. Yeah, you saying that time constraint, I don't know what to say. Yeah, okay, so there is you need to do some logic thinking as well. Yeah, okay, all right. So there is a limitation of the study. Make sure that the problem associated with the nature of study itself and sometimes is out of control. Okay, all right. Next, significance of the study. Okay, significance of the study, that means you want, what do you want to highlight? What is the importance of your study? Why your study is so important for the readers? The first one is the contribution to knowledge. That means give knowledge to readers. Okay, I'm doing this one because I want to tell the readers that Malaysia also having a same problem that COVID-19 has impacted Malaysia as well. So in this one, contribution. For contribution, this is my significance of the study. Significant. Why my study is so significant? Because it will benefit other readers or other researchers to read my work, and then to not only researchers but also to help government as well. Yeah. So you can read this one. Why is this study is so important and give benefit to others? Yeah. Okay. How your research will be beneficial to the development of the knowledge. Okay, that means the benefit that they will get. And then tell the readers that your research is useful because they will cite your work later. Citation. Cite your work. Help government. Help external parties, such as government, policymakers, and so on. Yeah. So this one, yeah. On the same ground, these studies provide for contribution. Of course, in the thesis, yeah, first one paragraph, second another paragraph. Because I'm doing journal, I just make it short only. Third, one paragraph. The final one paragraph. So that is how you explaining on significance of the study. You want to tell the readers that your study is so important and benefit the readers. Okay, so that is how you do that. Yeah. Okay, I'm saying this one will fill the gap by giving proposed conceptual framework. Yeah, they can use my framework later on. And then the second one, I'm extending previous studies work. And then the third one, other scholars or researchers can use my framework. And the last one, I help government. Yeah, because from the result, I help government to come up with the policies, yeah, and so on. Yeah, so that is my contribution. Okay, the last one, indicating report structures. How your thesis is organized. What is the chapter is all about? Chapter 1 is all about what? Chapter 2 is about what? Chapter 3 is about what? 4 is about what? 5 is about what? Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Because I'm doing journals, that's why I'm shortening. Okay, so this is one paragraph. Chapter 1 is about what? Chapter 2 is about what? Chapter 3 is about what? Chapter 4 is about what? And chapter 5 is about what? Okay, but in general, you didn't put as chapter, you put as a section. But in your thesis, you need to put as chapters. Okay, so one paragraph, one chapter. Yeah, chapter 1. So you see, you see here. Okay, section 2, which is chapter 2, I explained on the past literature review on your topic. Chapter 3 is about methodology and build mathematical equation, forecasting. And then chapter 4 is about present findings. And chapter 5 provide conclusion of the overall work. So this is how the indication of thesis structure. Yeah. Okay, this is a simple version, but you need to do FYP UGMP by having one paragraph, one section. Okay. All right. Let me check if I have any question on chapter 1. Okay, so far there is no question. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Okay, this is a hands-on on citation and referencing. Okay, you need to stand by Google Scholar, and then while writing, you need to cite either parenthetical or narrative. This one, I already explained this during workshop 1. Okay, parenthetical and narrative citation. There is a differences between those two. Yeah, either bracket or outside bracket or here only. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. I just do some simple citation. Okay, let's say I'm doing on, I always open Google Scholar. Let's say I'm doing regarding, okay, let me think about one topic, which is, okay, some kind like finance. See factors, right? Okay. Or influence or determinants. Okay, you see, okay, while I'm writing this one, okay, of course, I already provided the draft before. Okay, let me check if I want to write something. Theoretical framework. How can I spell theoretical framework in the wrong way? Okay, personal financial needs. I can invest this decision. Okay. One of the factors that influence investors' decision making invest is by, they said one of the factors is personal financial needs. So, as far as financial needs is concerned, okay, so let's say financial needs. Financial needs. Okay, hands on, Okay, financial needs. Let's say financial needs. Okay, there's nothing. But let's say in the literature review, okay, so let's say I'm putting this way. Okay, let's say I'm citing this one. Investors need, come up with this factor because they want to save some money for emergency, let's say emergency or future needs. Okay, so I'm citing this guy. Let's see this one. Okay, Takadus Bashir, let's say this one, but oh my god, it's quite difficult to read this one. Let's say Bashir, because of there are more than 2 people. Okay, I put here as Bashir et al. 2013. Okay, so while I'm citing this guy, okay, in references section, okay, while I'm writing references, later on in the references section, okay, so you click this one. Okay, choose either APA or Harvard. Make sure if you choose APA, all must be APA. Copy and then this. Okay, let's say I want to cite, I want to talk about financial needs. Let's see, because I'm talking about this one, financial needs on investors' decision. Okay, let's see. Financial need or needs. Okay, so if there is no on title, okay, never mind. Financial needs. Okay. If no is no title, you can come up with okay. Financial needs. Okay, you see there is another one. If you cannot find by title, you can go by usual. Let's say I want to cite this guy. Okay, let's say financial needs. Okay, you see the response performance of offline investor survey that beside financial need, they also try to satisfy more socially oriented through investing. This investor later identify themselves with other investors that enjoy participating in conversation. And then you interpret your own way. Investor consider it nice free time activity. Okay, so there is a financial needs only. Okay, if you feel that is not enough, okay, let's have a look at other things. Financial needs. Okay, so again, I come up with financial needs. Okay, so investor also have this factor because they want to diversify their money into different investment product. Okay, so let's say I cite this guy. Okay, therefore they will have enjoy different return. This is my interpretation of their sayings. Okay, so I cite this guy. Where's the guy? Shafi. Okay, let's say Shafi. Shafi, what year? Okay, this is 2014. Okay, while I'm done my citation, okay, go back to this one. I got this one from with Shafi, this one, right? So click this one, APA, and then go to references and I click. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Let's say this one, investor decision making. Let's say this one, financial needs. Another one, financial needs. So I search by financial needs. Oh, there is nothing there. Okay, never mind. This one. Okay, because I have there has a financial needs word. Okay, we can say that most of are rational about. Let me read. This one. See this one. The researcher investigated the impact on this. Okay, you see, this one, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, the study did not find any evidence of personal needs. It can say that most of investing Pakistan not making rational decision on the basis of confirmation. Most of the time, recommendation of stockbrokers, co-workers, which have important policies. This one. Okay, so let's say if I read this one and I found out that this financial needs. Okay, however, okay, this one. However, it is contrary with who is this guy? Because have 5 name, okay, have a cite the first name only, Akbar al what year is it? Akbar et al 2016, whereby okay it based on advice by brokers or agents, brokers or bankers. Okay, so something like that. So once I'm done this one, let's say Akbar et al 2016. So I'm going back to this one. Where is Akbar et al? Okay, click this one, APA, and then click references. You need to do it slowly. Do not rushing. Okay. So once you are done everything, let's say you have 50 citation, what you have to do is select everything. This one, you have A and Z. Ascending. Okay. So you click ascending, but do not worry about this one because after that you can you can click this one. So that is how you do it. If you add more citation, you need to highlight everything, sort it again, and then you need to just do some work only. Okay, that is how you do references. Okay, so that is hands-on on how to do citation and then referencing. You need to do one by one. That is the best thing to do. Yeah. Okay. So that is how you done it. Yes, I put references. Okay, I will share with you some of the common mistake done by FYP student and UGMP students. Okay, so there are many, like 14. I just want to highlight based on my experience. Okay, for the first one, research question and research objective is not solid enough. Yeah, okay. They are saying that, okay, one of the research objective is to examine employee performance. That's it. To examine employee performance, that's it. My question here is employee performance what? Okay, and then where? And then who are this one? So that means it's not solely, it's like that incomplete research question or incomplete research objective. Yeah, some kind like hanging there. Yeah, to explain the relationship between buying decision and sales performance, and that's it. Okay, they didn't put like, okay, to explain to test relationship between buying decision and sales performance at in the context of pharmacy, healthcare industry, let's say, because they didn't complete the sentence. So that's why the research question is not solid enough. Okay, second one, problem statement is not clear, no gaps highlighted. Like I told you earlier, problem statement, yeah, you need to solid it out by highlighting at least one gap, yeah, or if you want to put more than that, is fine for me. Okay, so at least you have some gaps. What do you want to fill up? Okay, and then No conceptual or theoretical framework. I together a bit this one. Poor conceptual framework. Let me tell you this one. Recently that I check one particular student. Okay, let me draw something with you. It's quite like a funny thing, whereby the conceptual framework is like this. Okay, this one is IV, variable A, variable B, variable C, variable D, and then this is your dependent variable, which is X, Y, Z. Okay, so it's some kind like this. They just drawing like that. So sometimes I feel like, okay, yeah, I can see your IV and DV, but the problem is if you draw line just that, where is the arrow? Are you leaning towards this arrow or are you leaning towards this arrow? So that is an issue. Yeah, you need to make it complete. Yeah, okay, you need to make it complete, whereby, yeah, you must have arrow. Yeah, arrow shows the relationship with one another. Okay, so the proper one is either you go this way or you can go this way. Yeah, it depends on your research objective. You want to examine the impact or influences. Okay, that is fine for me. But another problem here is your hypothesis. Let's say if you have H1, H2, H3, and H4, you need to label this one as well. H1, H2, H3, H4. If you did not put H1, H2, H4, I will not accept that. Because it will make me easier. Oh, H1 is related to IVA versus DV, this one. Or H2 is related to relationship between B and XYZ. H3 is a relationship between C and XYZ. That is acceptable. But if you do not put this one, I have no idea what is your hypothesis is referring to. So that might be issue. So your framework should be complete, concise, and the arrow must be neat enough. Yeah, okay, just to show the head of the arrow. Yeah, so it make me understand better. Okay, if you have moderating and moderating, that's fine for me, but you still need to show the hypothesis as well. Okay, next, literature review, no theory. That is a problem. Yeah, you cannot do literature review from the sky. You must have a theory, at least one theory. Yeah, you must have at least one theory. Okay, if you do employee performance, you must have one theory related to employee performance. If you do on entry mode, yeah, you must have at least one entry on theory mode. Okay, so at least must have one theory. Doesn't matter conceptual or theoretical. Okay, you must have theory, either empirical theory or base theory. The next one, literature review does not explain DV and IV. That is more even worse than that. Yeah, okay. Some of the script, they have independent, but they don't have dependent. That is the issue. You need to explain the concept of DV and IV. All right. The second one, in chapter 3, forget to write data analysis. Like I told you in the data analysis part 6. SPSS is not analysis, it's a software. Okay, you need to explain either descriptive or inferential, let's say. Yeah, so some of them are missed out in data analysis. Wrong methodology procedure. Yeah, you do analysis on quantitative, but somehow your methodology is qualitative. That is wrong already. So that's why I already come up with this one, yeah, to sort this problem. Yeah, to sort this problem. Selection guide. Yeah, okay, so you can understand, yeah, the flow of it. Okay, all right. Do not put qualitative, but your study is more on quantitative, which is totally wrong. So no, it's not advisable. So you need to study the flow, which is suggested here. Okay, so this is my advice to you. Okay, the next one. Copy paste table from SPSS. Wow, this is quite even worse than that. You need to do manual table. Okay, for example, like this one. Even though I'm doing SPSS, I rather do it the normal one. Where is this? Yeah, this one. Descriptive statistic. I'm not copying paste from SPSS. I just do my own table and then I put in this way. Yeah, for others to understand. Do not simply copy and paste. You need to transfer manually and then you need to do your own way for you to understand better. This is descriptive statistic. Yeah. Okay, and also this one, the hypothesis test. The model summary. Okay, I didn't copy from SPSS. I just put in my own way. Same goes to this one, decision to accept or reject hypothesis. Okay, so I'm putting this way. Yeah, so they want make readers to understand. Okay, so that is example of mistake that student always copy and paste. All right. One more worst thing is no interpretation on the table. They just present this table and that's it. They didn't tell. This is sometimes happen to FYP student. Yeah, previous student. They just put the table and then that's it. They didn't tell. They didn't tell about what is the table is all about. Yeah, you see, the table 5 is the beta in table 5 suggests this one, blah blah blah. You need to interpret whatever tables that you put in the findings. Yeah, every single table that you put, you need to explain. Do not leave it like that. So you need to explain and make readers understand. Okay, the next part did not chapter 5 did not answer research question. You have research question in chapter 5, but you did not answer. You just go for conclusion and that's it. No, you need to answer all research question. If you have 4 research question, you need to answer all 4 research question. If you have 5 research question, you need to answer all 5 research question in chapter 5. Conclusion not highlighting significance of the study. Again, we're talking about the contribution of the knowledge. Remember, research is about you search the knowledge and then you will share your knowledge with others. Okay, the last one, the last two, the lack of discussion. You didn't compare your findings with other researchers. Okay, so sometimes you need to either you support or contradict. Probably if I'm having contradict. If I have some time, let's see if I can do chapter 4 and chapter 5 as well. And then the last one, poor abstract. Usually abstract, we will do the last part before you submit. Okay, so abstract later on, if I have some time, I will teach you on how to do abstract. Okay, these are some sharing tips of working with supervisors. Some tips by Zainal Abidin 2006. Not our lecturer, but from other researcher. Okay, so supervisor is like marriage in heaven. You need to have some chemistry. God willing, your FYP or UGMP work will be smooth. Okay, so please make sure that there is a chemistry. Okay, please make sure that need to work together. Need to work together in the sense of this one. Okay, here ada some suggestion on for students here, especially for yourself. The first one being independent. At the same time, do not too casual and take it easy. This is the problem. Okay, you feel that doing FYP is like doing a roti canai. No, okay, doing FYP is a project basis, whereby you need to do it slow and then you need to do it stage by stage. Okay, no such thing as last minute work. Do not do last minute. If you do last minute work, the work will become a mess. You will have a lot of errors, and then the marks will not be good. Probably it will lead towards fail and so on, because so many major errors that or flaws that relates towards your project. Being independent, that means there is an alternative for you. Only you can, because it is your work, you need to motivate yourself. You need to motivate yourself. The second one, produce regular written work. Keep the momentum. Remember, in workshop 1, I told that this FYP or UGMP is a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, marathon, the momentum you can build from low momentum to high momentum. Let's say you can do one day like 200 words, or let's say just spend 1 or 2 hours only per day. Okay, let me tell you some of my story. Okay, I also a PhD student. I have a supervisor. The supervisor is quite nice. I mean, like he also accepted my suggestion, and also, and then regarding my written work, yeah, usually I do like one day like 100 words, even 50 words also okay, because I have a commitment in working as a lecturer in FTMS, and also I have a commitment, sometimes I play sports as well, so need to balance between your work and also your personal life. Okay, if you have a work time part-time work, try to balance between your part-time work and with your study. Okay, because your main objective here as a student, yeah, part-time work is just others, okay, you need to finish, the important matters is you need to finish your FYP or UGMP. Okay, the third one, regular contact or meeting with supervisor. Okay, if possible, you can contact to WhatsApp and so on. I'm not suggest email because sometimes the response rate is quite low. Yeah. Okay. Even me also have a problem with email. Yeah. Student give me email and then suddenly okay, what is the email is all about? I'm not sure about that. Okay, make sure if you want to meet, yeah, or meet online or meet face to face, appointment first. Do not walk in too many times. If you walk in too many times, yeah, supervisors might feel not comfortable because they also have a busy time, yeah, to in terms of teaching, supervising and so on. Needs to match your time with supervisor's time. Okay, some of the supervisors available at night, but I'm not advised to do at night, yeah, probably during office hours and so on. Weekend also can, yeah, but for me myself, yeah, if you feel that there is an urgent thing, you can just drop the question. Sometimes I will reply on the morning tomorrow. Yeah, usually I'm not responding on the midnight and so on because I understand you want to do something, but please make sure, yeah, when you texting a supervisor or lecturer, please be courtesy. Yeah, say hi, hello. Do not just simply throw question like that. Yeah, it's not a respectful thing to do. Yeah, you must have some courtesy. Or let's say if you are texting the supervisor for the first time, please introduce yourself. Oh, okay, hello, my name is Shwari from blah 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 blah. Okay, I want to ask this one, blah 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 blah. Okay, and then leave the question, and the supervisor or lecturer will politely answer. Okay. If impolite student, you just throwing like that, sometimes I will ask, who are you? Because I don't know who you are. Yeah, so you need to take some courtesy in texting. Yeah. Okay. Do not worry. Lecturer or supervisor will not eat human. Yeah. Okay, but treat in the nice way or respective way. Yeah. Okay, one more thing. Student is an owner for your project. You are as an owner, not supervisor. I'm not doing your work. I'm just supervising only. So you need to be responsible of your work. Yeah. Okay. Because okay, probably supervisor can make some correction, but do not be too dependent of, oh, okay, because Mr. Hadi is so helpful, and then he can. I don't care if it's up to him to correct my work, even though it's a major issues. No. Yeah. Okay. You need to be responsible of your work as well. If I'm suggesting that should do correction on a certain area, yes, you can have an initiative to make a correction. Yeah. If sometimes you are not agree in certain thing, yes, you can tell, and then we can discuss. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is you are the owner of your project. Yeah. You are the owner of your work. And then also keep informed the progress. I also always receive this kind of problem. Sir, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. But I don't know which chapter are you in. So you need to be specified. Okay, currently I'm on the literature review stage in section 2.2, blah, 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 and so on. Sometimes I'm not accepting this kind of answer. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. What way are you? No, it's not like that. Okay, so please be keep informed the progress and so on. Just make sure that every message that you want to tell or every question that you want to ask must be clear. Okay, we are done with the workshop 2. Okay, let me check if there is any question. Okay, we still have another 12 minutes to go. Do you have any questions so far related to chapter 3 and chapter 1? Okay, if you can also drop the question in the chat box as well. Okay, give me 1 or 2 minutes. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to Google Form. Okay, please fill up this one because you will entitled to have a notes and the video recording at the end of this session. Okay. Okay, so these are the form. Okay, please fill up and you will be entitled to get the materials and the recording video. Okay, Sharina asking, sir, any major differences between UGMP and FYP in terms of methodology, collecting data, primary or secondary? Okay, we give freedom for students to choose any methodology that they want, either primary or secondary. The main difference for UGMP and FYP is the words. Yeah. We're talking about FYP. Okay, probably FYP we're talking about basic and intermediate content. Yeah, content in terms of literature review and so on. But for UGMP is more complex, a little bit complex. Okay. Sometimes UGMP can have a FYP topic, no problem. But the content here must be comprehensive and quite critical than FYP. That's all I can say. I can say that for FYP, it's like 6,000, around 6,000 to 7,000. And then for UGMP, it's like 10 to 12,000, something like that. It's more comprehensive. But as far as methodology is concerned, there is no differences. You can choose whatever methodology that you want. Of course, you need to confirm back with your supervisor on whether are they okay with that or not. Okay, I hope that I answer your question, Shrina. Okay, noted. All right, welcome. Any other question? Okay. So please fill up this form. Let me know if you are done. Fill up the form because I don't know whether you can open it or not. You able to fill up or not? Okay. Done, Okay. Good afternoon, sir. For the last week workshop, I only joined about 1 hour on level because so I get right. So yes, you can. You already fill up the form, right? So if you are entitled as well. You have my phone number, so you can text me about the. Please remind me about the first workshop. Ifa, you have my phone number. Nur Amira, sir, are we doing UGMP or FYP? Are you diploma or degree? That's my question. Nur Amira. Are you diploma or degree? In which program? Okay, degree UGMP. Yeah, undergraduate major project. FYP is for diploma. Actually, the approach is almost same. Yeah, but the difference is the wordings. Yeah, the total number of words. Yeah, and the complexity of it. Yeah, UGMP is more complex than FYP. Okay, how about the others? I want to know if the others already fill up the form. Waiting. Done. Okay, John, raise your hand. Okay, thank you, John. Okay, okay, we will wait for a few minutes and then we will finish up the workshop. Yeah. Amira, Sabrina, what program are you in? Is it HR or marketing or finance, accounting? Which one? Because Sabrina and Amira, I haven't. Amira in marketing. Sabrina, how about you? HR. Okay. Did you attend first workshop before? I can't remember. Did you attend the first workshop? No, okay. If no, it's okay. I will share with you later on the workshop first video, first workshop video as well. Okay. Following by your email, yeah, that you give in the form just now, Okay. Just to, how about the others? The name that I didn't mention. Lydia Lady. What is your real name?